Hello, and welcome to another episode of Manifest Actual Play. I'm Tommy Cotton. With me, as always, are Seth Lilly, Dan Barron, Addie Gia. We are here to continue this campaign. This is probably the penultimate episode of this campaign. The only way it's the final episode is if these guys blow through a lot of my notes really fast. More than likely, this is the second to last episode of this season. But before we get into any sort of recaps or anything like that, Addie, I'm going to pass the attention over to you for any announcements we might have.
Sure. So our announcements, there aren't any new ones. So you can follow, and subscribe here on Twitch. We also have a YouTube and Twitter and Facebook. You can find us as Manifest the RPG in all of those. And then we are Waypoint Live here. By sharing and liking and following, you help us out. If you can share us on your platform, if you love us, it gives us more bandwidth, which allows us to improve the stream for your viewing pleasure. Also, if you have the bandwidth to subscribe, all of the money that we receive goes back into the stream again to improve the quality of the stream. And if you have Amazon Prime, there we go. You get one complimentary Twitch Prime subscription, and if you love us the most, we can be that subscription. So all you got to do is remember to re-up it every 30 days, because it will go away if you don't, and that makes us sad. Other than that, it is the holiday season, and in the time of Corona especially, we have there are a lot of people who are food insecure, and so we are encouraging everybody to go and donate apparently cash money that we learned last week, because it's better than it's more cost effective than bringing cans or whatever to your local food bank. You can do that by reaching out to your local mayor's office, council, alderman if you're in Chicago. You can also go to the website that Tommy found last week.
I can definitely find it, feedingamerica.org.
feedingamerica.org. And it'll help help you find the food banks in your community. And one of the best things about food banks are that they are local, and you are helping the people in your area, which also feels pretty great, just in general. And food banks aren't just for those you think of as like stereotypically homeless. There are people like children who normally get their meals from school during the holidays are not able to get that guaranteed nourishment, and they get a lot of their food from food banks, as well as just anybody who needs it. So if you can give your time, energy, money, or platform to that space, we would really appreciate it. We don't gain anything from it. It's just, if you can, we do. please consider it. Other than that, like Tommy said, this is probably the second to last episode of this campaign with Roland, Kinsey, and Pax. And so we will be giving you an update once we get to that final episode of what's coming next. So you can look forward to that probably next week.
Yeah, because Manifest Actual Play is not over.
Yeah, we're sticking around. It's just
this
campaign.
Oh yeah,
can't keep playing. We're legends now. Badlands Pete.
Yeah. So before we jump into a recap of what's been going on so far, I'm going to go ahead and take a moment to transport us all far away into the land of Manifest, where these three characters with very cool character art exist. And let's take a closer look at that character art. So we'll be right back. All right. Also, Addie, I'd like to point out that you already have a comment in the chat saying they like the hat.
Oh, thank you.
Chat likes the hat. I too am in the festive season. As you can see, I'm wearing a sweater. All right. So recap time. Kinsey, Pax, and Roland have been in Tobias Station in the middle of the Badlands for some time. They just last session overthrew Captain Morales, who was the security captain of Tobias Station, not an elected official, mind you. She was an appointed official by the singular elected official of the station master. But then it turns out that the station master's dead, and someone has been impersonating him for some time, and that someone answers to Captain Morales. And so, that was bad. And then these guys cleaned it up. And so they the last couple sessions have been a big old gunfight as Pax was about to be hanged, and then Roland exposed Morales, and Morales made a run for it, and there was a big old shootout all through Tobias Station. There was a revolt from the people, guns were firing, smoke cleared, Morales was dead. Additionally, having stepped up to assist these three drifters, only to be betrayed, Leo Riggs, the right-hand man of Captain Morales, did assist these three drifters and then was shot down before he had a chance to collect his dues, managing to escape barely with his life using his illuminated abilities to teleport away. Roland was able to best Leo Riggs by doing a couple flashbacks and calling to collect on a favor from Tect and Molu, the rangers of the Ophidian clan, who Roland helped liberate from Ferdinand Koenig, Kinsey's very evil dad. So Tect and Molu are at Tobias Station and apparently have been here for about a month now, shadowing these drifters, waiting for Roland's signal. They left the three of you in the hangar, and then Gray Foster showed up, a member of the Sheffield family, to kind of give you a rundown of what to expect going forward. He said that they're already getting the word out that there's going to be an election, and requested that Roland touch base with the leaders of the three prominent families prior to he said you got a day. He says, and you get a day to recover, and then you have to come talk business. And then he went on his way as well. So the three of you, the station has gone kind of comparatively quiet, as there's no more gunshots ringing out here or elsewhere. What are the three of you doing? I know you were leaving the hangar. I don't know where you were heading, but you have, if there was anything else you needed to achieve in the hangar before you left it, now would be the time.
I actually, so there's two things. First, I do want to head towards Morales's escape helicopter.
What's left of it?
Through that. But second, I want to try and cast my mind back to minutes ago when Leo said you have what I'm due. Did he think that was the gun that is apparently hidden in Tobias Station?
Yeah, basically, you never got confirmation from Leo that you knew that Leo was looking for a stash, something that Ephraim had hid in Tobias Station.
Yeah.
And so him appearing, fighting along your side, and then reaching out to the gun that was collected in the garden, and saying this was the arrangement. You owe me this gun. You're without having to roll or anything, you're savvy enough to know that your arrangement with him was you would find the stash and for him, and then he would help you. He wouldn't just step aside when you tried to take on Morales.
Right.
He would help.
He would actively help. And
you lied to him saying, "Hey, we have it," and then he immediately saved Pax's life, and then went around to flank some people. And then after the fight said, "Yep, give it," and pointed at that gun, basically.
Okay.
So he is definitely looking for that gun or a gun that is extremely similar to it.
Okay, so like based on my best read of him in that moment, he thinks we found the one that's in Tobias Station.
Yeah, that seems like a pretty safe bet.
Okay. New sort of, probably not first, second order of business soon in this new regime. We should actually find that one.
So you're rummaging around the wreckage of the helicopter, broken off rotor wing and everything. It's full of all sorts of supplies. Looks like maybe some of it were supplies that were stolen from other hangars, that kind of thing. Like she was basically like just like doing the equivalent of like sweeping things off a shelf and putting it in to give herself a better life as she ran away. But the one thing of importance that you do find is a satchel that contains Morales' data pad that was returned to her by Leo Riggs.
Ah.
And you already have the cipher for it, so you are able to read everything on that data pad now.
This was foolish of her to not destroy. Anyways.
Kinsey and Pax, was there anything you needed to get into in this hangar before you guys move on?
I think I'm gonna take Deandra and add her to my collection.
Captain Morales' gun?
Yeah.
That you promptly named Deandra?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the only problem with that is that it's the start of a new collection, really.
Well, it is a hard caliber pistol. It is not a revolver though. It is, are the stats for this? It is a hard caliber pistol with enhanced sights, a laser sight, and a box magazine. It's got like a big like central like chamber down the center, like a more modern looking firearm. But still has the telltale signs of a hard caliber with like that kind of like glowing technology along the side of it.
Okay.
And Kinsey, I think. Sorry, are you continuing?
No, that's it. I go.
Kinsey, I think, remembers what he probably thinks was a hallucination, and he's going to just head towards the hangar doors and see see if he looks over the edge, if there is an old man in Ophidian clothing just flying around somewhere.
Yeah, that is right. And I skipped in my recap the fact that Kinsey died. Kinsey took a bullet through the heart, witnessed his death, and then seemed to have a surreal experience where he felt he was somehow in the Blackscale Cavern without being in the Blackscale Cavern, saw some like wisps of people around him, and then came back to life a few seconds before he died and was able to dodge the bullet. And then from there, Kinsey, you're still kind of experiencing this kind of sense of like being hyper aware of the nature outside of the station. Like you can still feel the wind more than you could before. You can smell smells in the air that you couldn't before. You like can sense the nature around you. You can even like, if you like, as you're like moving, you get like this weird sensation that like you can almost feel / hear the brook on the top of the mesa well above you. Kind of like this like cold like feeling on the back of your neck that isn't necessarily like creepy or disconcerting. It's almost like a comforting coolness. But then in addition to having that weird vision and giving these kind of like these sensory inputs from nature outside of his normal like vision and range, he did see a weird person standing on the ledge of the hangar who went shh and then jumped off the hangar really casually. So yeah, Kinsey, you rush there and you look over the edge. Nothing. No body on the ground, no someone floating around, no like vehicle off in the distance that he could have flown away on, anything like that.
And he just kind of like shakes his head and he'll walk back to the others.
You okay? You look You look weird.
No, I think I'm fine. I think I'm. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. And he's
Okay.
gonna. I guess he'll break off and check up on Umbra and see that he's all right.
Yeah,
He's
Umbra's a little
fairly injured.
Umbra's a little wounded, but is standing strong, licking his fur a little bit, trying to get some of the blood off, shaking his head to get the blood off his antlers, and just kind of like patiently waiting for you to like give him a command. And so when you walk over to him and like reach up, he like really quickly like pushes his head against your hand, so that you can kind of like get behind his ears.
All right, my friend.
He goes, and then like kind of like shoulders you a little bit. Doesn't seem to have the energy to like give you a full on kick, but gives you a little bit of a shoulder and like presses up against you, like gently like moving the antler around your head so that he can like, you know, put his head nearby yours.
All right, take it easy. All right, come on. You're getting blood on me. Stop it. What's the next move?
We should not go back to our bar. It is burnt down and smells of death.
Oh, right, I was supposed to feed the plant.
Wait, what?
Some guys came to rob the bar while you were away, and we killed them. But the plant, apparently, the murder is free. Apparently, it's got a one guy limit. So
You do remember Tect and Molu saying, I actually don't remember if I said it on stream. They said they would be waiting for you. Like they didn't like they weren't leaving the station, right? And you know, Roland, having kind of like had them shadowing you, you know that like when they said they were going to be waiting for you, they did mean at Umbra's.
Okay, well, we should go pick them up because the bar is burnt down and smells of death.
I suppose I could get them. And do we all want to go together?
No, let's all go down there. I guess all my stuff probably smells like dead people already.
Oh, for the record, there may be a revolution still happening.
God, I hope not. I hope it's over.
So you guys start making your way through the station?
Yeah.
You are able to see that the revolution is no longer happening. As you make your way through the main bazaar, it looks like the residents are kind of in cleanup mode. The bazaar is torn to hell. Things are shredded, overturned, broken. There's plenty of dead bodies, and basically, as you walk through, there's kind of this like. It's not totally silent because people are like talking and coordinating their movements, but like people are like helping other people set up their stalls again, like getting their belongings back to them. And some people who you can tell are like confused as they're trying to figure out like whose stall this is and like trying to like, you know, salvage that stuff for somebody, hoping that they're maybe still alive and just injured and not around. And you do see there's plenty of people who are a little less squeamish who are moving bodies out of the bazaar and kind of towards the junkyard area of the like because the bazaar goes all the way through the mesa, and one is like the post office. One entrance is the post office, and the one of the big entrances is the post office and the stables, and the other one's that like big junkyard and scrapyard and other like industries that you saw over there. That's the way that like all the bodies seem to be being moved. You see a couple familiar faces. You don't see Alex Woods. You don't see Professor Granger. You don't see Harry. No one super prominent. Just some of the people that you've kind of like taken the time to get to know here and there are still alive. You definitely don't see any bodies that you like overtly recognize, except for maybe sort of recognizing a face in passing, that kind of thing.
Is Charlotte around?
So her store is in the main bazaar, and you do not see her around.
Okay.
Her store overlooks the main bazaar.
Yeah.
But
I didn't know if she was.
Most of the damage is kind of consolidated to the ground floor of the main bazaar.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that she was in the crowd when you were being hanged because
Yeah.
she kind of got them in an uproar for you.
I know.
But you don't see her anywhere right now.
Okay. Okay. I guess we keep going. Should we help?
Probably.
Let's get our bearings at the very least first. I think this will still be happening in the 30 minutes it takes for us to get back.
Sure. Okay. Okay. Yeah, let's go.
Okay. You make your way through the main bazaar. You do catch plenty of looks as you do. People don't interrupt you or interact with you or impede you in any way, but they do. A lot of people seem to mark your movement and kind of stop what they're doing as you pass by to kind of watch you go. All of you look terrible. You're shot up. You're bloodied. You're covered in like soot and sweat as you make your way through the crowd. Kind of nursing your wounds, and you're able to make your way down towards the lower levels and to Umbra's. As you're approaching Umbra's, before you get there, the door is open. And as you're getting there, you do hear music is playing from the jukebox. It appears the jukebox survived the fires. And as you come around to the door, you see Tect and Molu have made themselves comfortable at the bar, drinking a drink, listening to music, and also in a booth on the opposite side of the room of the Drosera tree. There is a security guard whose bindings have been loosened enough for him to be able to have a drink, but not loose enough that he could he's still got like rope on his wrists and ankles, but they're kind of tied together just enough like that he has enough range of movement to have a drink that apparently Molu and Tect took the liberty of giving him. And they're sitting there and they're just kind of like in silence listening to a Bobby Klein song as it plays loudly on the jukebox. And it's, got like a much more aggressive guitar to it, and a little bit of like more industrial like kind of percussion behind it. And it's like, the night is calling, I have to go. The wolf is hungry, he runs the show. He's licking his lips, he's ready to win. On the hunt tonight for love at first sting. Here I am, riding on a Warrakin. Here I am, riding on a Warrakin.
Oh my goodness.
It really makes you think, who did he get to play the drums for him?
And as you walk in, Tect and Molu make eye contact with you, and kind of give you a nod, and Tect goes, I hope you don't mind. I took the liberty of giving your prisoner a little bit more of a comfortable situation, seeing as how his forces have been defeated.
Oh, there's nobody I'd trust more to keep an eye on one of my prisoners than you two.
And then the security guard goes, Can I go? So this is Mitchell. He would like to leave. There is also, Pax, you do notice a kind of growing rancid smell in the bar. It's not overpowering yet, but it is there. Not great.
Hey, this isn't going to be one of those things where you've sworn revenge and
Oh God,
I'm gonna
no.
wake
No,
up
no,
in
no,
4
no.
years and you're there over my bed with a gun and you say this is for Morales.
No. I mean, look, I got a lot of feelings going on right now, but most important to me is getting out of today alive.
Yeah, okay. Just like be good. Can you do that? Can you do that for me in exchange for letting you leave now?
Yes.
No, don't. Really think about it.
I. It feels like a little bit of a loaded. I don't.
Yeah, it is, but you're the one tied up, so.
Right, but how am I supposed to make that promise? I mean, I ain't ever even left to buy a station, and I got to run away now. I mean, the people here are gonna, hang me for being one of Morales' crew.
Well, like, take your uniform off, go get a horse or whatever, and go be good.
Okay.
Great. I don't see why that was so hard, I say as I come over and, like, untie him.
He finishes his drink, sets it down, kind of like eyes all of you as like the da-na-na is
You
playing.
really ought to take the uniform off.
Right, and he like kind of undoes it, and he's just like in like a t-shirt and like underwear, and he's like, because it's basically it's like an armored, like almost like an armored jumper he
I
has.
didn't even give you your own pants.
It's fine. I have a spare. I just gotta swing by. Thank you. And he says, like walking out with his hands up.
As he walks out, I point at him, and I point at the tree, and I point at him again.
He just like gets to the door and bolts the other way.
Does it look like good armor?
It might be better armor than what you're wearing right now.
Well, I'm not wearing any armor right now. So, I mean, that's not a very high bar.
Yeah, no, it is fitted and hardened, and it's medium.
Oh.
It's light fitted hardened.
Okay, I'll take that.
Cool. You get a security jumper.
Yeah, I don't know when I'm gonna wear it, but
So, welcome to our bar. It's nice to finally host you here.
Interesting aesthetic.
It was nicer yesterday.
We know.
I need a drink. Does anybody else need a drink? Text Molu, refill. And without waiting for an answer, Kinsey's going to grab the nicest bottle that didn't get broken, and he'll make everybody a drink.
Nice. Leonard sits there for a second, looking a little worse for wear, and he goes, "We should maybe get a doctor down here to take a look at everyone. We all took quite a while up there. I spotted a few choice clinics when I got into the station. I could probably, I got the funds. I can pay to have us looked at."
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say no. I think I might be fine, but
Like bullet holes in your jacket.
tonics,
I'm-
man, they'll really whew.
At the very least, maybe they can help us take down some of these side effects from these tonics.
Oh yeah, I'm super awake right now.
Yeah, you're extremely wired, Pax.
You've done quite a bit of uppers.
You're exhausted, but like your eyes
so
can't,
tired.
like you can't even keep them closed. They're like springboards. They just pop right back up.
I forgot about them.
He goes, "All right, well, I'll go and fetch a doctor then." And then he comes up to you, Pax, and puts like an arm on your shoulder and is like, "You all right?"
Yeah, I'll be fine. It's, only like the third time I've almost died, so I'm getting used to it.
He like glances to Tect and Molu because he has no idea where the hell they came from or who they are. And he goes, "All right." And then
Oh, I'll walk you out, and I'll tell him who Tect and Molu are.
you like go part way down the hallway and be like, "Yeah,
Mhm.
so there we made friends with the Ophidian clan, and these guys are rangers." And yeah, you give him the Cliff Notes version of it, and he goes, "All right, well, I mean, where did it even come from?"
I don't know. I have a lot of words for Roland, and I figure he knows.
All right. Well, I imagine the clinics might be a bit overtasked at the moment, but
Yeah.
if there's a doctor that I can get to come down here and take a look at y'all, and he like gestures at himself, he's like, and me.
Yeah.
I'll bring him down as soon as I can.
Okay.
All right. And he gives you a kiss on the cheek, and then goes up to the bazaar.
Hey, could I ask the three of you to do me a favor?
Hmm?
There are, I believe, Kinsey, correct me if I'm wrong, 2 dead bodies in our vent up there.
Yeah, I think it's 2. Yeah, that's about right.
I am not physically strong enough to, 1, withstand the environment within said vents, and 2, carry 2 fully grown adult men. Could you guys just sort of help out getting them out of there?
Do you want them out of the station or just out of the vents?
Out of this vent is fine for now. When does the tree need to eat again, Kinsey?
The tree could eat again, Kinsey.
We could feed 1. He's getting a little peckish.
God, terrifying. I can't believe you have that thing here.
Yeah, Tecton Molu will, Pax, as you return, Tecton Molu and Kinsey are removing 2 bodies from the vents. You see the bodies of Earl and Bender.
Oh my.
And Kinsey, Molu will help you carry. You stop and like Molu looks at you, looks at the bodies, and like sees the massive form that is Earl, and then looks at like the slimmer form that is Bender, and he goes, "That one, right?"
Yeah, that one. We'll toss Earl on Umbra.
Yeah, and so you're able to bring Bender over to the tree. There's no glass to make you not watch it, as Kinsey and Molu carefully kind of slump Bender against the tree. His body starts getting pulled in as those tendrils close in. His arm snaps and is slowly removed from his torso as it gets kind of wrapped around to like the back of the tree. And then his like body gets like lifted up off his feet and is like broken in several parts as it gets pulled into different parts of this tree. And slowly the trees, like all of its tendrils and like extensions and leaves, close in around the corpse of Bender.
At least he's good for something.
And yeah, you're able to put Earl on Umbra, who I guess did Umbra come down here with you guys?
Yeah, I didn't mention it, but Umbra definitely walked with us all the way through the station.
Cool.
Which may have explained some of the looks, but yeah.
Not that many. Not as many as you would think. Yeah, so you're able to load Earl onto Umbra. And is there anything you're doing with Earl's body, or is Umbra just kind of holding on to him right now?
I guess we don't really have any planning to do yet. So I think probably I'll ask Tektimulu could the 2 of you just walk with me for a moment? I'll go with Umbra to deliver this body and come back.
Sure. And they finish their drinks, sit down, and the 3 of you and Umbra make your way towards like the scrapyard, where it seems like people are kind of taking the bodies in that general direction.
So this might sound interesting. I saw at one point during that battle, I don't know how to say this. I saw myself die, and I didn't, as you can see, but I did see a gentleman. It seemed as though he was wearing Ophidian armor, but it was like it seemed older. It had some like vines wrapped around it is an older man with grey hair, and all he said to me was "Shush," which didn't seem particularly helpful in figuring out who he was. But do you know? Do you know anything about? Does that sound familiar?
What did he do after you saw him?
He flew away.
They exchange a look, and then Techt, like they stop for a second, and so like Umbra stops, and you turn back to look at them. They exchange a look, and then Techt goes, "Describe him to me in detail." Yeah, so the person you describe is basically a tall, lithe man with sharp, almost gaunt-like features. He's got dark hair with gray streaks in it. And he's wearing like ancient Ophidian garb, which you describe in detail, like, you know, from the epaulets to like the binding around his waist and all that. And then also one thing that comes to mind is he has 3 vertical white lines painted on his forehead. And they sit there in stunned silence for a little bit. And like you guys start walking again. And then Techt speaks up and goes, "That is almost a perfect description of one of the Almaresh."
Almaresh? What do you mean?
The Almaresh are thought to be entities made from the mind of the barrow snake. They appear throughout our history as guides and warnings. I suppose they're akin to a pantheon of gods. It's not many who can see these imprints. And while the influence of the Almaresh can be felt at all times, and their wisdom can be sought out by anyone willing to listen, they've only appeared in the way you describe in rare and important times. The man you described, I believe it is Morbu.
Oh.
He's the caretaker of the veil between life and death. His purpose is to guide souls into the eternal memory, and he serves as the tether which allows the Ophidian clan to commune with their ancestors. See, the Ophidian clan believes that when you die, your spirit lives on in the memory of the barrow snake, so that your wisdom is never lost. And the fact that Morbu appeared to you, I mean, the ability to see him is a rare gift, and it must have been granted to you when you meditated in the Black Scale Cavern?
I saw the Black Scale Cavern just for a moment. It felt as though I was like connected to it.
It's where Mobu's presence is most easily found. They exchange another look, and then Molu speaks up and goes, "Kinsey, the Ophidian clan is in a state of turmoil. For better or worse, there's a fear amongst our people that those that choose to shed themselves of the barrow snake's blessing might not enter its eternal memory when they die. There's a fear that their soul will drift into the cosmos and be lost forever. It's something that is, of course, of well, importance to the two of us, as we did
Oh.
not choose to lose the blessing, yet we feel its absence every day. But if you're able to see Morbu this far from the Snake Eye Canyons, that must mean that the Barrow Snake's influence is far-reaching. And Tect says, we can't know for sure, one way or the other. But if I were to venture a guess, Mr. McCharlotte, I would believe that you are meant to serve a great purpose, for either yourself or the Barrow Snake, or perhaps the Ophidian clan itself. Instead of allowing you to die, Morbu showed you a vision of your potential death in order to allow you to live. In stories, Morbu is a very calculated individual. He's supposed to guide the souls into memory, but is said to be extremely sympathetic to mortal beings. Instead, he tends to choose to balance the natural order of death with a desire to allow mortals to live out to their full potential. I myself have called on Morbu's wisdom when I've gone on a particularly dangerous hunt or mission. Anytime we feel our lives may be in the balance, we call to Morbu to look after us and hope that our purpose is great enough that he will allow us to continue forward. Morbu is not greedy for death. For him to spare you, there must be a purpose behind it. I would recommend that you make your way back to, we are not, you need to speak to either APEP or, oh no, why are all of my buttons?
Oh no.
Either APEP or Shesh. Hell, even Lustra could sing you a song or two about Morbu, and perhaps shed light on it. You should come with us to the Snake Eye Canyons. Unless Morbu pokes his head from behind the veil one more time to point you in a different direction.
There are few things more comforting than I've ever felt in my life in my time in the Black Scale Caverns. I always intended to return, but perhaps the time is now.
At the very least, our people need to know what you saw. We can bring the message to them if you still have business to attend to. Your path is your own to choose. But we must make haste back and let them know what we saw.
Of course.
Send a message to Soldina at the very least. Get word to the people there. There's hope for people like us.
I'll think about it. But first, I've got to take care of this, obviously. But
You're like
thank you.
almost to the edge of the bazaar with the body at this point.
Yeah. I feel as though I need to thank the two of you. Thank you for being here. I mean, obviously, I didn't know you were here the entire time, but we would not have been successful in this crazy cockeyed plan of ours without you being here.
Well, the three of you helped release Molu and I from a life of servitude to a man who was lying to us.
Yeah, sorry about him.
His sins are not your own. Do not take them on you. And when Roland called, we were, honestly, pleased to have some purpose. We didn't know what to do. We could just sit there and hope that the barrow snake would connect with us once more. So, having something to achieve outside the canyons, it felt like there was at least a reason for us to be the way we are.
I'm glad we, Roland, I suppose, could give you a purpose. I still believe that you have a greater one than protecting the three of us.
Mola goes, well, the debt is settled. You'll have to do something to compensate us next time.
Fair enough. I'll be back in a little bit. Tell Roland and Pax that I've got some business to take care of, and I'll clasp both of their arms and make my way into the bazaar.
Sure. As you step out into the sunlight of the late afternoon, the warmth of the sun encapsulates your whole body like a warm blanket. And the fresh air coming off of the Badlands invigorates you like it never has before. As finally you step out into nature, away from the confines of Tobias Station. And you do see a significant amount of people basically laying out bodies to be identified and tended to in the way that best suits them, for either their wills or their loved ones to decide. And you are able to kind of go over there without any altercation and lay Earl amongst the crowd of dead bodies. You'd say a little over a dozen bodies have been removed from the station at this point. Meanwhile, Roland and Pax, what have you two been up to in the saloon? I believe you are alone, except for the somewhat slow moving tree in the corner.
Yeah, I sort of limp over to the door and shut it, and then limp back over to the bar and sit down on the chair on a bar stool. Is there anything you want to tell me, Roland?
Trying to think of which thing. Where would you like me to start?
I think anywhere is great.
Sure. Leo Riggs is looking for the second gun. Fairly certain it's what Ephraim hid in Tobias Station.
The
Lemaire's
companion to the... And you...
Actually, Roland, you rolled 6 successes on...
Oh shit, is it not Lemaire's gun? It's someone else's gun?
No, it's Lemaire's gun, but she said the companion, and that made me... So you know that Lemaire's guns are named Claymore and Flomberg, and you guys currently have Claymore.
That feels like a well actually moment that's not pertinent to this conversation.
No, I know. It was just that thought pops up in your head as a person who rolled 6 successes on knowing stuff about Lemaire. You're a Lemaire trivia expert now.
Well, actually, you see, Flambert. No, I don't say that.
Right.
No, actually. The deal was based on what we had found as to what Morales was doing with her spurs, which, by the way, was shoveling it to the Valentines and the hateful anti-luminescent propaganda. Riggs would stand aside when we took our shot. What he said was if we found what Ephraim hid, he would do more than stand aside. And so in the moment that you were going to be hanged, I lied to him because I didn't see another way to save your life. And he sort of confirmed my suspicion when he saw Leonard's gun and believed it to be what he was looking for.
Okay, well, I'm less mad now, but and you didn't know that it was the other gun when you promised it to him?
I didn't know. I had an inkling, but like we found a gun in a cave on the other side of the world. What are the odds that the other one was here in this place that we've decided to overthrow a tyrant? That was the literal thought process that went through my head. I don't know what he wanted. Maybe there was like a brick of luminescence or something.
Okay.
You know what? Me and Kinsey sat in that booth, and we had a good laugh over the fact that what if it was the other gun? Because that seemed ridiculous yesterday.
And how did you called the Ophidians?
I called them almost immediately when we decided this is what we were going to do.
And you didn't share?
I didn't.
Okay. And what did you trade for the family?
Me.
You shouldn't have done that.
Well, it's already done.
I don't want that for you.
Can you honestly tell me that if we left here with whoever they picked to put in charge, you wouldn't feel some need to come back and overthrow them? We stopped here because someone was doing something bad to people in a bad way. The only way I can think to make that not true here is for it to be me.
But that's not that's not fair. What are we supposed to do? I can't. We're supposed to be together.
Listen, whether you believe it's possible or not, there's a very nice happy ending where you and Leonard ride off into the sunset. And I know what you're thinking, it can't possibly be that. But I have just delivered, perhaps, maybe not largest, but one of the single largest wins to 3 of the families on Manifest in removing and replacing someone who was screwing them over. They owe me. And I'm happy to take it in the form of spurs to pay a bounty.
Well, I'm really mad at you. So,
You wound me. Would you like a drink?
no. I mean, like water.
Sure.
Dum, dum, dum. There's a knock on the door.
Are you here to kill us?
I don't think so. You hear the voice of Alex Woods, the grocer from down the street.
Great, come on in.
Door opens up. He walks in kind of awkwardly holding a gun that is familiar to you. He has Miguel's gun.
Oh my god.
Where do I put this?
Anywhere.
Down, probably.
Yeah.
He kind of like leans it awkwardly. He tries to lean it against a table. The table like moves. He like then leans it against like one of the booths.
It's fine. The bar's burnt down. You can break a table.
Yeah, what happened here? You know what?
I don't
Robbery
know.
gone wrong.
Right. He like
Are you okay?
smells a couple times. He is wounded. You do see he has like bandages around his abdomen that are bloody.
Hey, sit down. A friend of ours went to go get a doctor to come back here.
It's fine. I already had it looked at. I'm on the mend. It's okay. Yeah, I just wanted to return your gun and I guess say thank you for what you done. I mean, people are confused, but I'm making sure anyone I talk to knows what y'all did. And word is there's going to be an election in 4 days for the next station master. Couple people saying you might throw your hat in the ring, Hollis.
That is the plan. I'd hate to make a mess and leave someone else to clean it up.
Well, the way I see it, you got my vote. 3 of you ain't done nothing wrong. You saw wrong and you righted it. I know that. And anyone with half a mind in the lower levels knows that. Anyways, there's your gun.
Thank you.
I'll be on my way.
Do you want a drink?
Doctor said I shouldn't.
Yeah, no. What with the blood on the inside?
Yeah. But I'm gonna see to it things get sorted out up top. If there's anything y'all need, you let me know.
You too.
All right. He like tips his hat at you, walks out.
That one was not me. I did not know about that.
Pointing at Miguel's gun.
I know. He's probably the only other person in this station who could lift it up. So, like,
He is a very large man.
It's a very large man.
I feel like I haven't seen you guys in a million years. Did Carver make it in to the Pearl?
Yes.
I guess that's how everything. Is he okay? Did they let him
He was
go?
the last left.
Okay.
I suspect, given the fact that there will be an election, and that a real judge is coming for it, they will leave him unharmed. In this case, him being alive to simply tell the truth is in their interest.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
Door opens again. And in walks Leonard Yen, followed by a woman who you don't recognize. And he walks in saying like, all right, thank you. Down the hall, presumably to Alex Woods. And he walks in, he goes, this is Dr. Cobb. Doctor, these are your where the hell is Kinsey?
He went to take out the trash.
All right. Well, if you could, Doc. And she turns to him and goes, "Is Doctor. Doc is where you put boats. Doctor."
How have we never met?
All right, Doctor, if you could. All right. Terrible conditions. Sit. And she points at like a booth for Roland.
Oh, I'm fine. Her first.
Sit.
Okay.
But she does.
I
She does listen to you and go over to Pax first.
Oh, okay. She just wanted me to sit. I could sit and drink.
What injuries do you have, Pax? The tiers are what's important to me. Like,
Sure,
the class of your injury.
I have 3 or I have 2 tier 1 injuries and 1 class 2 injury.
Okay, your first tier 1 injury is treated. Your second tier 1 injury is treated. And then you said you have 1 tier 2.
Yeah.
Oh no, on my dice. Your tier 2 is also treated.
Nice. I feel much better.
No other injuries?
No other injuries.
You got hit point damage?
Yeah, I am
anything
missing...
that can be healed, or is it all it's all locked in, right?
I have taken a health tonic since and then been injured again. So I am missing 10 hit points.
These are new holes.
These are new holes.
You heal 6 of those hit points.
Okay. No, I'm only missing 4 hit points.
Roland, you have no hit point damage, right?
Yeah, I've just, my knee wobbles a little bit. And honestly, I feel like I've been going for days.
What's the tier?
I have a class 2 and a class 1 injury.
All right, well, the class 1 is treated and the class 2 is almost treated. You need 1 more rest for that to be treated.
Okay.
And then so for you, Pax, she works on it a little bit, treats your different injuries, injects you with a bunch of different stims, patches up some stuff.
No, not stims.
not like stims, chemicals.
Sure.
And then she goes, "You're going to have trouble sleeping tonight. There's nothing I can do." And then
That's
she looks
okay.
at like her scanner a little bit for a second, looks at you, looks back at her scanner, and then moves away. And then she goes over to Roland. And
I would love to read that expression on this doctor's face here right now, this instant.
Yeah, go ahead. Blend. You're rolling blend. That's what she is rolling to attempt to play it cool.
Okay.
Yeah, she's like, I'm just a doctor. There's nothing wrong. This is fine.
You are up against an 8.
She is an open book to me. I have 3 hits.
There's something in Pax's blood work that she is not concerned about, but that is surprising to her. And she is choosing not to bring it up right now. But you also, how many successes?
3.
You get the impression that she intends to talk to Pax about it once she's done treating people's wounds.
Okay.
So yeah, she works on your knee, Roland, and she goes, "You're going to need to rest." And she looks at the blood work and goes, "You're going to have problems sleeping tonight."
Oh yeah, I am. That's right. Uppers. They just gave them all uppers. I guess that makes sense. They were children.
After tonight, it should be better. And then
Now, there's no way I could, like, take a sleep tonic tonight.
You will sleep, you will not rest. It will be bad. Nightmares, perhaps. I don't recommend it.
Medicine is a cruel mistress. That's why I got my doctorate in literature.
She goes over to Leonard, patches him up a little bit, looks at his arm that like got shot, and is like, I can't do anything about that. I can recommend. And he's like, it's fine. I've learned how to patch it up myself. And she goes, okay.
I look over at Leonard. Hey, Leonard, we might have some stuff down in the war room, actually, to get that arm fixed up if you want to. Have you ever been in our secret clubhouse? Come, see our secret clubhouse.
All right. He stands up, moves off to the side. You notice Roland, the doctor, like taking the time to take extra time packing up her bags. And you and Leonard leave. She zips up her bag, looks over to Pax and goes, how are you feeling?
Much better. Thanks.
That is good. She sits down on the bar, like across from you, a few like stools away, and she goes, the tonics that you took, they will keep you up tonight, perhaps a little bit beyond tonight. It could be rough. And she pulls out like a tonic and slides it over, and she goes, this may help. There are no side effects. It is the purest healing tonic you can find on the market. My own device.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, I did not get your name. I am Amelia.
You can call me Pax.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance, Pax. I have some news.
Okay. Am I okay?
You are fine. But you may want to rethink your line of work, at least for some time. It appears, Miss Pax, that you are pregnant. I understand if this comes as a shock. People in your line of work, they do not typically intend for this to happen, but your blood work indicates that it may have been recent.
Huh.
I thought you would like to know.
Yeah. You're like, sure?
Yes. My med kit is excellent quality. It would not give me a false positive. It is early. Surprising, I can even tell at this point, but the signs are there. It's extremely early. I suggest if you would like to stop by the clinic, I can tell you more about what you can expect. It is very early. There's a long road ahead of you.
Uh-huh.
And our clinic is at your disposal.
Uh-huh.
If you're looking for something a little less ramshackle, perhaps one of the factory towns, Markham's Landing, Iron Harbor has...
no, I can't. It's too far.
Well...
yeah, thank you. I'll stop by. Where is your clinic?
We are on the second level, between the bazaar and the upper crust, in wing 23C.
Okay. Okay. Um. Yeah. Thanks. Thanks.
I'm just doing my job.
No, I get. Yeah. No, but Thanks. I think.
You know, I am so sorry, Leonard. I was sure we had cubes down here. Kinsey must have taken them and used them without telling anyone. He
Oh.
does this with the till, is the thing.
Roland, what the hell? I don't. I mean, is there something you wanted to talk about? I don't understand. This is obviously picked clean.
I haven't been here for a few days. I'm sorry, Leonard. I'm sorry I tried to do a nice thing and help you repair your arm.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's hard to tell with you sometimes.
It's hurtful to me that you would think I wanted anything but your own well-being. And I go up the stairs.
If you have any questions, Miss Pax, you know where to find me.
Mhm.
Verify. My intent was to be loud enough that Pax could hear us coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
She nods and then leaves.
Did
And then Roland returns to the bar like 2 seconds later. Door opens up. And Leonard follows close behind. He looks at you, sees you looking at him, and he like smiles and goes, "Feeling better?"
Uh-huh.
You all right?
I don't know.
Am I missing something? He looks at Roland, looks at Pax.
Do you know?
I mean, listen. I've been in her position before, you see. It's a look I'm familiar with.
How could you? I didn't. How dare you?
It's just context.
But
I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything so that you could say something.
Can someone say something to me? Maybe? What's going on?
no pressure.
Roland bursts out laughing.
I'm pregnant.
And
Which is like a whole bunch of problems, but also really great.
and I'm
Yeah, you're welcome. This is awesome.
oh my god. Are you for are you really?
Yeah.
Oh my god. And he rushes over and he gives you a kiss on the mouth.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, this is amazing. I mean, hey, wait, how did he, what?"
Do you need
He
me
almost always knows everything before
I can explain
anyone
it to
else.
you. A doctor looked at a woman's blood work, saw something surprising, and then kept it to herself until they were alone.
But
And it wasn't bad surprising, right? Like you can tell that on a face when it's bad surprising.
she's sure. You're sure.
Yeah.
Leonard, you can't possibly need me to explain to you how.
Roland, for the first time in your life, shut the fuck up. He puts a hand on Pax's cheek and he goes, I mean, this is, what do you want to do? I mean, that's you just found out. You can take time if you need to.
I don't need to. Roland and Kinsey are gonna be great uncles. They're crazy, and I think they're gonna be great. And I think if you want to be a dad, you might be great too.
Of course I want to be. Yeah, absolutely.
And I can't do what my mom did to me.
His face goes a little like hard at that. And he goes, right. I need to send a couple LRCs. We're going to take care of this. I'm going to take care of this.
Okay. Even if you don't, it'll be okay.
I have to try. And he steps back, kind of like beaming, like a little dazed. And he kind of like sizes you up for a second. He turns to Roland and goes, "You can talk again."
You're not in charge of me.
He like lets out a barking laugh and then like kind of like stumbles his way out of the bar. And as he does, Tect and Molu walk in.
He didn't get kidnapped again, did he?
Oh no.
Kinsey? No, he said he had to take care of some things. He said he would be... He's going through something.
See, okay. He was weird after the whole...
I think you're going to find him weird for a while.
Oh, he's always been weird, I guess.
Yeah. But he's okay?
Molu
Did he tell you?
Molu says he's excellent. I think he
Well,
just needs a little time out in the wild with Umbra to clear his head.
Yeah. Okay.
Tect says, as for us, we need to spare no time in returning to Snake Eye Canyon.
Everything okay?
Yes. There are concerns that our people have regarding the revelation that was had with our survival. Kinsey seems entwined with something that gives us hope. It's hard to explain. But Kinsey can tell you himself, I suppose. But what he told us gives us hope, and we need to pass that hope on to our people.
Oh.
So with the debts settled, it was great seeing the three of you again, even from afar.
Next time, I feel like you could probably say hi. Or just come visit if you want.
Molu looks at Roland and says, "We were under very strict instruction."
Yeah, we
Yeah,
talked about that.
You can blame that one on me.
Yeah.
Tect goes, "Oh, we will." But
I hate this being accountable thing.
but if you ever need to reach us, send word to the father in Soldina. He will pass messages along to the clan in the canyons.
If you see Sky, can you tell her hi?
Absolutely. Had we had the time to talk to her before we left, I imagine she would have sent me with the same message. And if you ever need our help again, debt or no debt, You can at least reach out, see what happens.
I figure I owe you for the guys in the vent anyways.
Yes, well, hopefully the smell clears soon enough.
One can hope.
The tree undulates.
Ugh, gross. I hate that thing. That's the first repair we're doing.
We should get rid of it, I think, right?
The tree?
Yeah.
Are you gonna move it? Because I'm not touching it. I'm not going near that thing.
No. I guess we have to burn the place down.
You already did, and it lived. So
It was a small fire.
just like do the glass thing again.
Can we hang a sheet?
Tecton Molu bid you adieu as they leave. Kinsey, what do you get into after you drop off Earl's body?
Well, the original plan was to drop off the body and then take Umbra to the stables.
Okay.
But for some reason, Kinsey feels like no urge to do that. And so I think he and Umbra just kind of wander out into the desert. And I'm going to think about this Morbu person and see if maybe I can, like, I don't know, just find a place that feels good.
Okay. So your commune with nature ability allows you to get some inkling of something, but you have to roll for more detail.
Great.
So what you get moving through, you're just trying to find a place that feels good. And you do eventually find like an area, like you go further than you would think. And like you're not pushing Umbra beyond his limits, but Umbra is hurt and is a little winded. But like you're not pushing him hard, he's not moving fast, and he's happy to move a little further. He's still got plenty of fight left in him. As you make your way out into the desert, you just kind of casually walk out. The sun is getting lower at this point, like starting to be broken up by the mountains on the horizon. And you find a spot. You can't see the station. You can start to see one of the two moons in the sky. And you kind of like stop for a second and you're like, this is it. But that's all you're going to get without a roll.
I can roll. I have dice for that.
Now, if you're using commune with nature, you do have to present me with a question for this roll.
One with nature, right? Or
yeah, one with nature.
I just figured you would want to get the talent.
Well,
actually, it's called the one with nature. Commune with nature was an earlier iteration of the talent that never made it to print.
Such good conversations.
That's 4 hits.
Woo. What is it you're trying to find out?
I am just trying to find out, and I don't even know if the Earth knows this, and it's more important that I'm asking the question than that I get a specific answer. I'm basically going to like tune into my feeling of all of the nature around me, and I'm going to say, why me? Why would Morbu want?
So yeah, you sit down and you kind of sit down and Umbra curls up next to you. And you have that thought. You're just kind of looking up at the stars, looking around. You hear the axe handle hounds yipping in the distance. And kind of resting next to you, taking a breather, Umbra's ear kind of flops onto your lap. And instinctively, you kind of like touch his ear and then move up to his head and kind of like pet him a little bit. And then your attention is pulled to Umbra. And Umbra is like looking at you as you're petting him. And something with your connection to Umbra feels important. And then you look up past Umbra and you see Morbu standing there as like the dust kind of swirls up around him. And you notice on his neck, he has a twine with a necklace. And that necklace has the prong of a jackalope antler on it. And he gives you a slight smile, just the smallest one, in his hard, gaunt face. And then you blink and he's gone. And then Umbra shifts a little closer to you.
As I'm sitting and petting Umbra's head, I would like to use my Master the Elements talent as I kind of like enter a stage of meditation. And I would like to use the earth part of that to
Sure.
yeah, do your thing. You can narrate it better than I can.
Yeah, so you kind of get into this like meditative feeling. Everything becomes zen. You open yourself up to that kind of vibrancy of nature around you that like you've always been aware of, but like after what you experienced, it's like heightened. And you feel like you can hear and feel nature for miles. Like somewhere in those mountains on the horizon, you like hear copperbird I don't know what's the word I want. Like babies. What's a baby bird called?
Chicks.
Chicks. Copperbird chicks like chirping up. And you hear like the movement of their metal wings forming on their bodies. And you hear like the sound of wind, and then you very far away from you, you do hear the movement of what you're sure is a snallygaster moving away from you. You feel safe. Strangely, you kind of commune with that for like a second, right? And like you like feel like it's fine. It's just on the hunt. It's not hunting for you. It's not hunting for anything in particular. It's just hungry.
I communed with it for a second. I don't know how to like describe this, but I want to send it like the feeling of like a wink, like you do your thing.
You don't know whether or not that message was received, but you do that. And then you feel below you, in the ground, the dry, hard, rocky ground of the Badlands. You do feel deep below you. It's either an underwater stream or pond or gathering of water from the most recent rainfall. And you feel parched. Not oppressively so, but a little bit. You're out in the Badlands. And you feel the weight of your wounds on you. And as you sit there petting Umbra and thinking on these things, you hear the water more and more. And then you put your hand back to adjust your seat, and you touch grass. Not hard rock. And you kind of open your eyes and look around, and in a very small patch around where you and Umbra are laying, like maybe 5 feet on either side of the two of you, in like roughly a circular formation, vegetation has grown up. And you see berries that you know are edible and mushrooms that you know are edible and can keep on the road, kind of sprouting as you look on these plants. And then just a little bit in front of you, about 4-ish inches tall, 3 to 2 inches wide, kind of sharp, jagged tip, there is a glowing rock that has just the faintest of a glow, which as the sun is setting is a little more prominent, but just a slight warm orange glow to it.
And I'll look at it for a second, and I'm going to like shake Umbra away. I know.
And then Umbra immediately leans down and cautiously bites one of the berries. And less cautiously bites 3 more.
What do you think that thing is?
Looks at the stone, gets up on all 4s, moves around it, sniffs it a little bit, pulls back, and looks at you, and goes with his back leg.
I'm not going to touch it. You touch it.
Looks at you a little bit longer. Moves forward. Puts a nose against the rock. And there's a kind of sound, and the light pulses just a little bit. And Umbra pulls back, and you watch as the wounds and blood on Umbra's body close up and heal and reverse. And Umbra like steps up, like straightens up a little bit, and like shakes himself like clean for a second, looks under his leg, starts licking his haunches a little bit, and then like steps up, spins around, and then just goes like and like leaps off into the darkness and starts like bounding around you in a circle, and then like lands in front of you, his ears completely up as he looks at you. Completely healed, 100%.
I don't know what. And I'm gonna like look a little bit more. Now look at him a little bit more, and I don't have any actual damage to me, but I've definitely been hurt, and I think I'll touch the stone too and just heal any cosmetic damage that I have.
Well, you have injuries.
Yes, I do. That's true.
All of those go away the moment you touch the stone. Every injury is healed. Every hit point is healed.
I'll look at Kinsey and I'll say, sorry. I'll look at Umbra and I'll say, you want to go for a ride?
Drops down on one leg to let you get on easier.
And I'll hop on.
And Kinsey, or now you got me doing it. Umbra will bound like 3 or 4 like leaping bounds away from this like little tiny patch of like grass that you've made. And then he'll stop and he'll look back at it. And then like wait for you. Just give him a little head jerk.
Yep.
And he leaps away, and you just go on a full on. It's like the first time you met Umbra, where he was like half trying to buck you, half seeing how well you could hold on, as he leapt through the mountainside. He is bounding and bouncing off of any like terrain he can as he sprints around the area. And as the sun has completely set and the stars are high in the sky and it is well into the evening, you see ahead of you the lights of Tobias Station as Umbra is bringing you back. Roland and Pax, you have the whole evening. Kinsey doesn't get back until nighttime.
Yeah. Are you hungry?
Neither of you can sleep either.
No. I don't want to eat ever.
Hungry.
Well, there's got to be like fruit or like eggs or something. You know how to make eggs, right? It was worth a shot. I don't know.
I go into the kitchen and I start cooking.
Roland, you've never cooked before. At least
On
not on stream. I'm not liking your life, but at least for a while you've been depending on Kinsey's cooking skills.
I've been allowing Kinsey to.
Yeah, you know a recipe or two at least, right? So you can roll lore at a -3.
Okay. Sure. Fine.
Kinsey hasn't stocked this kitchen to match any recipe you particularly know.
Yeah, but like, cooking isn't about any recipe. It's about feeling.
It's gonna make you roll tenacity if you keep talking.
At a -3, that's 3 hits.
Okay, yeah. You open up the cupboard and it like doesn't match. Nothing matches like any of the recipes like you know. And like you're like, but
It's just sort of salt, fat, acid, and heat.
right? And so you just start being like, this should go well with this. This should go well with this. This isn't so hard. And yeah, you grab, you maybe don't use Kinsey's ingredients as efficiently as Kinsey might, and you don't necessarily.
I'm certainly not trying to use them efficiently.
And you might not make as like extremely good a meal as Kinsey has made in the past when he's rolled like 5 hits on cooking. But in this particular instance, you do make an extremely good dinner for you and Pax. And you come out with 2 completely full plates of like starch, meat, greens.
So we're gonna need to go grocery shopping in the morning. I've used everything, but also I figured this bar's maybe kaput, so we should use it while it's here.
I mean, we can fix it up.
Sure. I mean, probably. And I guess, the last bar that was here was revived after a horrible murder took place. So
Keep the tradition alive. Yeah, okay. So you guys have a very nice meal. You still can't sleep. Neither of you can sleep tonight. You do not regain any hit points. You do not your injuries are not treated with a rest. Neither of you can sleep. You're just awake. And I think probably Kinsey comes back late at night and the 2 of you are awake playing cards or something like that.
you got
So
any fours?
What? Force? Oh, I don't know. Yes. No. No. Do you think that it's here though? The other gun for real?
You're supposed to say go fish. Yeah,
Go
probably.
fish. Go fish.
Kinsey, you return to Umbra's. Well, so I don't want to skip ahead. Like Umbra does stop at the stable and allow you to get off, and then looks at you, thumps his back leg a couple times, shoulder checks you, and then takes a couple more steps towards the stables, and then looks at you again.
Yeah. We'll meet up later.
He like lowers down for a second and then like leaps up and like does like 3 bouncing like circles around you and then stops for a second and like kind of like sets his feet for a second, looks at you, and then thumps his leg a couple more times and then turns back towards the stables.
Love you too, buddy.
And he goes up and one of the stable masters sees you and recognizes Umbra, opens up the door. Umbra bounds in. He gives you a wave, shuts the door behind him. And then, yeah, you make your way into Umbra's, I assume.
Absolutely.
And you see Roland and Pax still awake, playing cards.
Yeah, I mean, Leo thought it was here for sure. And he doesn't strike me as a man to be so certain without some evidence.
Sure. I mean, we should look for it.
Oh, yeah,
Then.
that's definitely on my list. Pretty high.
Yeah. Do you think my stuff got looted from the security office? I'd love to have my stuff back. I'd hate to tell Kinsey that I lost his bow. Hi, Kinsey.
How you doing? Hello.
Great. Do you want to play cards?
Oh,
Roland and I
cool.
can't sleep, possibly forever again. Also, I'm pregnant.
They're unrelated.
All right, take it, great Roland.
Congratulations, or
Yes.
congratulations. The two of you crazy kids are going to make a go of it then. You love to see it.
Yeah, maybe. But that's for, later.
Right. Yes.
Right. Twos. Do you have twos? That's the third time I've asked for twos, right?
You get some twos.
Nice. Yay.
You know how to play fish?
Do I go again? I don't know how to
Do
play.
I know how to play fish? I'm the fish master, my friend.
I am very bad at this game. Roland is letting me win.
Kinsey sits down, grabs the top of the deck, and immediately loses really quickly because you're able to calculate what hasn't been guessed yet that Kinsey definitely has because he just grabbed like the top half of the deck that's remaining.
You got sixes?
How do you know?
Eights?
Jacks.
Take them all. Take them all.
Give me the ace.
Which ace is it?
Hearts.
God damn it!
And Kinsey, you are able to go to sleep at a certain point tonight.
Yeah.
Roland and Pax stay up through the night. Pax,
Hey, if you write a list before you go to bed, we'll go food shopping in the morning.
yeah, the kitchen's a mess, Kinsey.
Somebody cooked in there and it got real dirty.
It was probably part of the attack.
Yeah, when they
I was
robbed
here
us.
for the. You weren't even here for the attack.
Yeah, Bender must have got in there and tried to make dinner or something.
Mm.
I'll do the dishes and then I'll go to bed.
Don't forget the list.
I've got the list in my head.
Okay.
It's gonna make it hard for us to shop from it then.
I can't hear you from my wonderfully comfortable bed. I think I'll go to sleep.
Kinsey, you get a rest, which I don't think matters because you use your Master of the Elements. Roland and Pax. Roland, you slept between now and then. Pax, you have not. This is the second night. I mean, you got like 4 hours of sleep.
I got 4 hours of
but
sleep.
you didn't
It was
get
long
a-
enough for
You didn't get a rest.
Nope.
I love the chat realizing what I wanted to say, which was, yeah, Kinsey, you're fine because you touched a rock. The chat immediately is like, you touched a rock, you're good. Pax, I need you to roll an endure test for me.
Of course. You know how bad I am at these. Okay. I'm gonna take hit point damage. I have been betrayed. I have 0 hits.
Okay. You take 4 hit point damage.
Oh no! And take that tonic.
It heals 3 of your hit points with no side
No!
effects.
Oh.
You
I
net
net-
1 hit point
I
damage.
net 1 loss, yeah. Oh man.
Hey, is your armor just ripped to shreds?
Yes.
-2. Do you want to go get our armors repaired?
All of my stuff was taken.
Let's go get your stuff.
Middle of the
And-
night in Tobias Station.
No one's asleep. There was a violent revolt yesterday.
Maybe there's like a campfire everybody is like talking around, like how it
Yes,
was
yes,
with the
I
new
bet.
Riveteers.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Almost certainly. There's probably 10 campfires.
Yeah.
Just one strategic.
It is a big place.
It's a big place. One campfire.
What if
would
there's
burn
one
the place
big
down.
campfire? Like
It'd
a
be too big.
bonfire?
There's
Yeah.
not one big campfire. It looks like business has gotten halfway to normal. There's people who are manning their stalls, dealing with the nighttime people who come through Tobias Station. It seems a little wild. Like, that it's like, it doesn't, the Tobias Station has always been chaotic, but there is like a certain amount of like, oh no, don't go that way. Like, people are like, people who are coming in are unaware of what's happened here and are kind of getting just kind of word of mouth, like, directions from people who kind of have a general idea of like how the station is supposed to operate on a day-to-day. There's no one central like control point that is like kind of organizing everything, but kind of as a community they are making it work for tonight. And you're able to make your way over to the station master, or to the security captain's jailhouse, and you are able to enter it. There's no one there. And Pax, you're able to retrieve your goods.
Nice. Good. Because we're going to have to sell some of this in order to get our cubes. That's great.
What are you talking about? I got 10 spurs on me.
You have 10 spurs?
Yeah, before you guys left, you did open up the till thinking like, oh, we might need to buy some stuff. And you saw a big piece of paper written in Kinsey's handwriting that says, Kinsey, I owe you everything.
You think he thought that the size of the paper needed to correspond with the amount of spurs?
He might have just been in a hurry.
He was probably in a hurry.
Yeah. So it's like pretty late, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like 3 a.m.
I don't know where to get cubes at 3 a.m. It's my station.
I mean, somebody's open.
Yeah.
Tobias Station doesn't go to bed.
No, Roland is right. It's not hard to find some cubes. If you want a large quantity of cubes, then probably it's hard. But if you want a
Probably
reasonable quantity of cubes, there are merchants up and down the bazaar who are still sort of operating despite the bazaar being a bit torn up still and their stalls not looking exceptionally good at the moment.
Yeah, probably just like 4 or 5 cubes should be pretty safe.
Sure.
Yeah, just machinery cubes.
Yeah.
You buying from the stalls, it's 3 spurs a machinery cube.
Oh, that's so many. That's so many.
You get your armor taken care of, and we'll take it. I can just wear this like jumpsuit thingy that I took.
I don't have the energy to haggle, so
It'll be fine.
yeah. Here, give me your armor.
No, you. What did I just say?
Yeah, no, I know what you said, but I'm doing a different thing.
Fine. You should help organize this up here.
I got 4 hits, so your armor heals 7 hit points.
Yay. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sort of on my list. That's why I wanted to get you squared away. So yeah, good to go. Then I was gonna go be a man of the people.
I mean, if it's what you want, you might as well make sure you get it.
Yeah. Then I start working on my armor.
Do you like this stuff? Like the whole like repair, tinker kind of stuff, or are you just good at it? It feels like it's annoying to you.
No,
Is
it's
it
not
annoying?
It's not annoying at all. I wouldn't. It's not that I don't like it. It's that I got 4 hits, by the way, so it's
Okay.
7.
Yep. You heal
Say as I'm,
7
like, putting my armor
7
back
armor
on.
points.
It's not that I don't like it. It's that there's something, and I know even as I say it, I've seen people who make things that defy this, but there's something cold and dispassionate about it. You put the parts together in the right configuration and you make the thing. And like I said, I've seen people make wonders with a box of scraps. And that's just not me. It's all just parts to me. And I can make things with parts. But they're just things, you know?
Mm. I don't know. It looks cool when you do it. It's always like, how did you do that?
I mean, I could teach you some stuff.
No. I mean, thank you. But no.
Hey,
I don't
you
want to
don't.
learn.
Well, if you don't want to learn, that's entirely different. I was gonna say you don't have to be good to enjoy something.
Yeah. I don't know. Ugh, I guess dying a whole bunch almost makes you like all existential or something because I don't even know what I like.
You should figure it out.
Yeah. I should also thank Shirley when it's daylight hours. I think I owe her like everything.
If she hadn't bought you that 30 seconds, it could have turned
Yeah,
real bad.
I know. Yikes.
You should go find Leonard. And see what he's doing.
Yeah. Okay. You're gonna just be
I'm gonna get
here?
community organized.
Okay. Well,
I'll be around
don't
if you need me.
okay. I destroyed my radio, so I don't have one anymore.
Oh, I picked up a few. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I have like oh yeah, I guess we could just use these ones now. Yeah, okay.
Roland, go ahead and roll connections for me. You can have a +3 because as you step out and kind of see what's going on, you realize you haven't reopened Morales's data pad like extensively at this point, but you did spend like a good amount of time on Morales's data pad, and you realize like you're like, oh wait, that's Carl. That's Susan. like you're able to like you've read
He's been extorted recently.
you've read so like you were like pouring through and you know so many of the people in Tobias Station without ever having met them, and like you're at least good enough to read through Morales's bias on these people to be like, okay, this is what Morales thought about this person, so that probably means and those kind of things.
You said a +3?
Yeah.
Well, I hope it's unopposed, but I do have 5 hits.
It is unopposed, and you got 5
Great.
hits. So
I didn't get over a 10.
it gets singing tonight as you like pack sleeves. You stop for a second. You kind of like eye everything. And you start to realize like you've met a lot of these people in passing, and a lot of these people you haven't met at all. But because you took the time to study Morales's notes, you kind of know the job really well already. And you're like, Carl needs his potatoes. You look over there and like there's like trucks being unloaded. You're like, perfect. Okay. Hey, you booth 82. Like and like you immediately like there's like people unloading, people moving things around. There's people coming in and like needing direction to like different things. And really quickly everyone starts like relying on you as you just kind of like without like going and asking anyone what they need, you show up with the thing they need. And like you, like at least half of the people, if not more, if more like 75% of the people you interact with, you're able to be like, you're Winston, right? Yeah. Hey, I'm Roland Hollis, and you like shake their hand and like hand off their stuff and be like, if there's anything you need, let me know. And then like you move on and you do like some extremely good work tonight, and everyone like what was a functional but somewhat chaotic evening turns into almost like a normal night in Tobias Station, as you're able to move your way around, and people are even calling out for you for like an assistance, and then eventually it starts to get like kind of going. Like you've deputized a couple people who you know kind of like know what they're supposed to do but needed just a little bit of direction, and there's a certain point where you're able to like step back and like you have like, I don't know, someone gave you some iced tea or something, and you're like sitting back like on like the steps partway up the landing, and you're like just like taking a second to like take a drink and relax for a second, you know, like rest your voice, and you watch as the station like operates perfectly, having put people in the right place at the right time with the right direction. And now it's all working. And a couple people walk by and they're like, Mr. Hollis, as they like pass you to go to their beds for the, not the evening, the morning, as the sun is beginning to rise at this point.
They pass by and I wave and they get out of earshot. And I mean, if you're going to be technical, it's Doctor.
And Pax, before the sun is up, you make your way back to Umbra's. And you find Leonard sitting in one of the booths, asleep, just like completely out of it, asleep. He's got like his hand on like next to a glass of water, and he is just out of it. His arm is repaired, which is nice.
Good. Yeah. So I guess I'll like gently wake him up.
Oh, sorry. Must have dozed off.
It's okay. Do you want to go to bed?
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
And you both go to bed, climb up into your little lofted bed, and he kind of holds you extra tight. And like as you're drifting off to sleep, he does like lay his hand gently on your stomach. And that's where we're going to take a break. Going to take a quick little break. We'll put it at about 10 minutes. I got 10:11 on the clock. We will be back at 10:21-ish. So those of you watching, go get a drink. Go get a snack. We'll be back with more Manifest Actual Play just after this break.
murder cats.
All right, and we're back. For those of you just joining us, Kinsey, Pax, and Roland have been convalescing after their revolution against Captain Morales. Kinsey has discovered he is more attuned with nature than he's ever been, including having some strange powers that include visions and the ability to heal himself with the earth. Pax and Roland have not been able to sleep very well. And Pax, like, even though you went to bed with Leonard, like, you're not able to sleep. So
Nope, I stare at the wall until he awakes.
you're just kind of laying there thinking about stuff. Yeah, Roland, you spend the evening helping make the station continue to work during this time. The next day comes along. You have 3 days until election day in Tobias Station. Roland, you're able to return to your companions as Kinsey wakes up and Leonard wakes up and Pax gets up. The bar is still torn to shreds and half burnt down, but at least the smell is almost gone.
Hey, great.
It's a start.
So I've got to speak to, I guess they're technically campaign donors now. I've got to speak to our criminal friends today.
Do you want company?
Do you want to be there?
I don't know.
I mean, strictly speaking, it is your turn.
For me to be there?
For you to guard Roland while he's there.
Fine. I kind of wanted to start looking for the gun. And I
Yeah.
have to see Shirley. And I want to check and see that the kids are okay.
Yeah, I don't need anyone to come with me to protect me. I'm fine.
No, I mean, like, it's not going to take that long, right? I can just come with you.
I mean, I don't know. I'm about to go talk to the 3 heads of the major crime families that operate in Tobias Station to determine the future of this government.
Okay, go. God.
All right then. I understand the meeting to be taking place in Grey Foster's suite because that would make sense.
You actually, you get to, who do you want to go see first? Do you want to go see Acosta first? Do you want to go see Bahara first?
No. I'm going, listen, I understand who is in charge here. I go speak to Salem Bahara first.
Okay. So you start making your way towards where you understand Salem Bahara to be staying right now. Kinsey and Pax, what are the two of you getting into this fine day?
I think unless Pax needs me, I might go see Anton Granger and see the progress that he's making on our is it mold?
Yeah, there's a terrible toxic mold in the vents of the lower levels.
Yeah. I'll check up with him unless Pax needs me.
No, I guess I don't. I'm just going to, hey, ask him if he has a giant piece of glass or something when you're down there.
I mean, I'll ask, but most of his plans are also out in the open, so
Yeah, but I'm not going to get close to that thing to clean around it.
I can try and tidy up the bar a little bit if y'all need. Look, I mean, I've been hiding out, says Leonard. I've been hiding out this whole time. You know, I don't know most of the folk here, and I don't know how to be of use. So if getting Umbra's back on its feet is something that's worthwhile, keeps me out of sight, and I don't have anything to do today.
Okay. I mean, I'm just going to go check and on some people, and then I'm gonna come back and I'll join you. So
Sure. Pax, do you got a second? We can talk.
yeah.
Kinsey, he says to you like a goodbye.
Oh, me too. Okay, sure.
No, he says it like a goodbye.
Like
He goes,
sorry.
no, I thought you were leaving.
Yeah. Right, I am leaving to do
Right.
things. You
So
two,
good,
need to
good luck,
have a
I
conversation.
guess.
And
Is yep.
Yep. Goodbye.
Okay. No, you don't have to be weird about it. Ask him about the glass.
All right, ask him about the glass.
I can fix up I can make the case fine. I can fix up some of the stuff around here. I mean, I ain't as handy as, Roland or anything, but I mean, as far as repairing some shelves and putting up some glass, I can at least achieve that.
Yeah.
Look, you mentioned, I think I heard you mention you were going to look for another one of these guns.
Yeah. Apparently there's two of them, and it's here.
Right. Yeah, no, I know. I mean, I was trying to figure out what Rufus Nash was up to. I understood it was legend is that each gun is a half of a map that leads to where Quentin Lemaire is laid to rest. Roland said a thing yesterday. He suggested after he took out Riggs in, I mean, I'll say it, a spectacular fashion. I mean, he said to me that it was best for me to destroy this thing. I mean, I don't know. And he like flexes his arm and the gun flies out of the back of his arm and he like catches it. And he goes, I mean, I understand there's a lot of bad people looking for this thing, but I don't know, I feel it's one of a kind, right? Well, I guess the pair is one of a kind, at least. This thing, it's a piece of the history of this world, what little we got. It just feels wrong to melt it down just because some bad people want to get their hands on it. That feels wrong, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not putting this on you or anything. I just
No.
I've been thinking about it. I was thinking about it last night, and I don't know. I don't know what to do. Thought I'd ask you what you thought.
I don't really know the whole, like, I just know that Rufus Nash like killed so many people for it. And then Leo Riggs, who was also, I think, a pretty bad guy, also wanted it. But I mean, like, this Lemaire guy, he's like from like a long time ago, right? Like, who's to say that like they didn't somebody hasn't found it already? Or I just wouldn't it make sense to at least have the information, right? We could just like scratch the barrels. You don't have to destroy it. They're really good guns.
Sure. I guess I figured if you were gonna find its pair, we could, I don't know, figure out where it's pointing to. Take precautions, get, sheriff's department or the militia involved.
Want to go exploring?
Well, I don't know. I mean, this thing's been looming around for so long. I don't know. I just figured for however long these two guns ain't been together, seems like they're in the same place. We just need to find the other one, right?
Yeah. I think we don't need to make any decisions until we find the other one.
That's
right?
what I'm getting at. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I just wanted to see what you thought. So
Yeah, I mean,
he like twirls the gun around and then like like sticks it back into like his tricep of his mechanical arm.
yeah. I mean, Roland's really smart, and he's probably right that ultimately something should be done to safeguard the information, which is probably why they were like so far apart to begin with. But
I didn't even think about that.
I mean, like, I don't know. It
But
just seems like
The moment
they
we
were
let the moment we let people who have ill intent make us destroy our history, right? I mean, there's something to this.
yeah.
I mean, even if we don't find the other gun, it just feels like maybe it's something that's worth preserving. I don't know. It's just
We could at least like take it to like some like a well, I mean, like Roland knows people, like academic people, and they could probably like put it somewhere safe or something. I'm not worried about it. I'm there's so many things that have come at us. It feels like enough to have them and keep them away from people.
well,
But
I guess I won't do anything dramatic until
okay.
we either give up or find the other gun.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
He looks at like the corner of the barn. He goes, "It's a really big piece of glass. I'm gonna have to go to the scrapyard and see what I can scrounge up."
Okay.
All right. Well,
Okay. Yeah.
be safe. I'll be here if you need me.
After you get the piece of glass.
Yeah, I'm gonna run
Yeah.
a few errands and I'll be here.
Okay.
All right. And the two of you part ways. We'll do Kinsey first. Kinsey, you were going to try and meet with Professor Granger.
Yep.
So yeah, you knock on the door. Door slides open. He goes, "Ken!"
How are you doing, Anton?
"I'm doing all right. I'm glad to see that you survived."
Yes,
I heard, I mean, there was quite the ruckus. I took part myself a little bit.
Didn't you?
Nothing too dramatic, just a snake vine here or there. You know how it is.
Oh, well, they can be quite useful.
Indeed. To what do I owe the pleasure? He looks behind you and goes, Is Roland, does he know, he knows your name's Roland now, right? It's gotta
I'm
be.
almost positive he still thinks my name is Jordan.
Really? He still thinks your name is Jordan? I thought for sure he figured it out at this point.
I don't remember.
No, he
Kinsey
did, because he
might-
was like, "Is it Roland? Is it Jordan? I don't know." And then Kinsey was like, "It's either." And he's like, "Okay, but I know I can trust you, Ken." He goes, "Is Roland going to be joining us?"
Oh, he's attending to some very important matters right now. Just me for the moment.
I mean, not that you aren't enough. Tea.
Please.
He makes you some tea, and as he does, he goes, "How can I be of service?" Of course.
I just was dropping by. So there's been quite the unrest in the station, and
Yes.
I'd like to be able to provide the people with something helpful, and I just wanted to check up on you and see how your research is doing.
My research about the mold.
Of course.
I haven't had much time, to be honest, Ken. I mean, I've made some progress, but mostly just checked a few samples that I had put underway when Roland first tasked me with the thing. I do feel like there is a course of action to be taken. I think there is a way to fumigate, if it were, a sort of way to close off the vents to the lower levels. If you get everyone out for a little while, the airflow down here will be terrible. But give it enough time, I feel like there is a method in which we can eradicate the mold without any harm to anything else. I suppose anyone with any personal plants or anything like that may do well to seal them up or take them out. But I mean, this is all speculation based on my initial findings. As far as the practical application, I haven't had much time to make much progress.
I understand, of course. Mostly, I suppose, given better ventilation, giving more access throughout the vent and more airflow, do you have confidence that we would be able to get to fumigate said vents and eradicate them of the mold? Do you think that is maybe not a promise, but a very good possibility?
I believe so. I mean, this type of growth is not uncommon in the Badlands. It has cropped up from time to time in certain deep mines and dwellings. Honestly, it's easy to avoid with routine maintenance. The only reason it's been able to grow to the problem it has is because of, well, previous management.
Of course.
But given the scale of the problem, I can't make any guarantees, but I can say that I have extreme amounts of confidence that there is a way to deal with this. I just need more time.
Could I take a look at the experiments that you're currently working with?
Sure. I have some samples over here. You can take, you'll want to put on this filtration mask here.
Of course.
Well, I mean, here are some of the samples you can see, and he takes you over to a little section of his lab. He parts some leaves, and you go into a little area, and he's got little petri dishes basically. And he's like, now you see, this is the unaltered sample of the mold. It continues to grow, but not at an extreme rate. I do believe I'm not unable to provide it to the circumstances it needs to truly grow. Not enough moisture, not enough darkness, so on. But here you can see I've tried some rudimentary mass market cleaning methods, basically things that are used in those types of mining operations to prevent. But we've moved past the point of prevention, and now we need a point of eradication. And I don't have anything else beyond that. I just thought I'd see what would happen with the things that are currently on the market. I think I can sort of extrapolate the process and punch it up a bit.
Of course. And as I look at each sample and each experiment, can I use my One with Nature talent? I understand this might need a roll just to see which of the molds is doing the worst.
How do you mean which of the molds? Oh, like doing the worst against his
against the efforts of.
That's not going to require a roll.
Great.
He's got 3 different samples of different commercial products that are used to kind of prevent this kind of growth. And there's one in particular that you can definitely kind of feel as you kind of look at it, through the microscope, and on the surface, they look relatively the same. But then you just kind of sit there for a second, you breathe in, breathe out, and you nod, and you just know in your heart of hearts, it's sample B. That's the one. That's the one that for sure is the formula that he should extrapolate on.
Sure. Good. Very good work, Professor. You know, I get the feeling you should really lean into sample B. There's quite some evidence of the efficacy of this remedy.
I did have somewhat the same thought. I thought maybe it was a bit of a pipe dream, but something in the way that the molecules were moving, they seemed slightly slower, more lethargic. Well, I suppose I'll move that to the top of the list.
Well done, my friend. I appreciate you. When should I... thank you for the tea, by the way. When should I come by again?
Well, are you not going to be at Umbra's? I could come to you.
Well, I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to be there. What if... wait a couple of days, but you may be able to take your findings to Roland.
Sure. Well, I don't believe I'll have anything to show until after the election, and rumor has it that Mr. Hollis is going to be one of the contenders. Him and Mr. Masterson, as I understand it.
Masterson hasn't a chance.
Well, we'll see. He has quite a few friends with quite deep pockets. Businesses around here can be convinced to vote one way or the other, depending on what kind of backing a candidate has.
Money is only the half of it, of course. You've
well-
got to have the people's will behind you.
In that regard, I believe Mr. Hollis is traveling in spades. Well, I mean, I don't know if you've heard, but he stayed up all night last night, helping the station continue to operate in this troubled time. Really, really the talk of the town at the moment.
Well done. Well, if it's the talk of the town, do us a favor and talk it up yourself, my friend.
Well, anyone who's willing to listen. Now, I was wondering when I would get a chance to speak to Roland myself. We have to clear the air, you recall.
Of course, yes. I know he will be busy over the next 2 days.
Right.
Trying to help people as much as possible. But I'll pass on a message to him that you'd like to speak with him. I'm sure he'll find time.
Well, if he wants me fighting in his corner, I look forward to having a moment of his time.
Any support is very welcome. That I can guarantee you.
Well, it has been excellent talking to you again, Ken.
Likewise.
I'm going to get to work on this new sample. You've got me a little bit invigorated.
Of course. Well, take care, and if there's any other help that you need, don't hesitate to come call me.
Of course. And you're able to make your way.
Yep.
Roland, you said you're meeting with Bahara first?
Yeah, of course.
So you step into it is an extremely fine, it's like one of the finest hotels that isn't the Gem. It is just adjacent to the upper level. It's got a very nice lobby with a very nice saloon, and then like long hallways that actually go up and down from the saloon to various rooms. And once you make yourself known, Salem meets you in one of the booths there. He sits down across from you. Some drinks are served. And he goes, "Congratulations on your win yesterday."
Thank you. It was hard fought.
Yes. I understand you are making great friends in the common folk of Tobias Station, which is excellent. But you may or may not have heard you will have a contender for the position of station master.
Anything I should be worried about?
Possibly. The name Darius Masterson is your opponent. He was a bit of a puppet of Morales, a friend of Eddie Copeland, a establishment within the station. He has friends both high and low. Now, his claws do not dig deep into the family business in any way, so you have the lead there, and that's all that matters. But the lead there can be tentative. I understand you made a promise to Severina.
The promise I made to Severina is she gets her voice heard quite loudly in the selection of security chief.
I hear she has picked Victor Ruiz to supplant Morales. Victor Ruiz is a name that you recall as well from Morales's various notes. It was one that you passed over rather quickly, though, so if you wanted more info beyond the fact that he is from San Cordero, you would need to roll connections for it.
Yeah, absolutely. 5 hits.
Okay. So Victor Ruiz is an ex-San Cordero militia captain who retired after he was involved in a scandal surrounding gear going missing from the garrison that he operated from. He was never convicted, though shortly after the scandal, he did retire with honors. And since then, he has had a little bit of a hand in the private sector of mercenary work. Nothing super direct, more like you understand that he like connects people together. From Morales's impression of him, you are able to extrapolate that he is a bit of a ruthless man, and you would imagine, because of the things that Morales liked about him in her notes, that he would be bad for the station. You don't know that he would go as far as to like, home grow his security force from like urchins that he exploits or anything like that. But you do think that capital punishment would grow exponentially in Tobias Station under his rule, that like transgressions that would maybe not require anything as strong as a hanging would result in that under his rule.
Severina wants power so much that she's forgotten her job is to make money.
Yes, well, that leads me to my question. We've talked quite a bit, and you made it clear to me that you believed that Morales had a hand in Ephraim's murder. I've taken it on faith that you have some sort of proof to that, but furthermore, you have not denied my initial suspicion that Severina was behind it.
To be perfectly frank, I don't have proof there either, but I think I am quite a good judge of character. I read people quite well. And my gut says it was her. Morales pulled the trigger, but Severina arranged the affair.
Cannot go on your gut alone, Roland.
That's why I have my people looking for what Ephraim hid here.
Ephraim hid something here. That's why he was killed.
I can't say for certain. Whatever he was here for, he told no one that we can find. Kept it entirely to himself. But he was killed here, his body was hidden here, and then Morales spent months systematically searching this station for something that she did not find on him.
Where have you looked?
I have her data pad now.
You do.
So I pull up the bloop.
It also occurs to you that there might be more evidence within the data pad.
Yeah, I mean, I don't immediately have it to offer him in this conversation.
I think like what you're able to do with the data pad is like pop up like a map for him to look at, but also like the one thing you haven't actually been able to look at with your own eyes
is her ledger.
Is her ledger. Like you know the cipher for it, but you haven't had the chance to actually look at it because you were blind at the time that it was deciphered. So while he looks at the map that you've pulled up, you just take a glance at the ledger, which does show around the time that Ephraim was killed, there was a substantial payment from Acosta to Morales. And the note on that says 23B cleanup, which you know to be the lot number of your bar.
Has it been under our bar the whole time? Sorry, no.
And then from that point on, Acosta's monthly hangar payments got increased by a significant margin.
Okay, yeah, so while he looks at the map, you know, it's sort of funny. The last time I got to look at this, I didn't actually get to look at this. I had gone blind from a tonic to not die. The air quality is quite bad in the lower levels. If you'll notice here, and I like pull up the date, this is right around the time of Ephraim's death. This is a rather large payment from Acosta to Morales. And then my guess is the increase in the hangar fees correspond to the search. Again, it's not proof, but it's a lot of things that point at proof.
There was an understanding that Mr. Finnegan, the previous proprietor of your lot, was killed by a family Jimmy. Telltale signs, the precision, the ability to disappear after the act, that sort of thing. I wasn't sure which family. I knew it wasn't the Canoons. It was the Acostas. Ephraim did like to try the local fairs in the lower levels. He told me those people were more human than the kind you'd find in the upper crust. He felt more at home in the lower levels. He could have been there all this time. That's what that was? I thought it was a dispute over payment or something or other. Mr. Finnegan was no one. It didn't make any sense for him to have been killed, but I figured it was business that I had not been privy to.
But a militiaman smuggling something that Acosta apparently quite dearly wants.
Perhaps Finnegan was caught in the crossfire. Ah, here it is. And he moves the hologram in on the map. And he points at a section of wall that is just wall. And he goes, if I were to bet money on it, if Ephraim had a safe space where he was hiding something, it would be here.
If you don't mind, I can get on the radio to Pax.
I don't mind at all. It's nothing extravagant. It used to be a maintenance storage unit, a closet, honestly. When we were 15, he and I hid in there for an entire night. From Mushir, my boss. Even then I worked for him. We didn't want to be caught together, so we hid there for the night. That was just before he decided to extend his militia service beyond what is due of a Fort Dearborn civilian. He wanted to join the scouts. Anyways, just a year later, it was covered up, paved over. It was a superfluous closet. Just became wall after that. If you're going to Radio Pax, I would expect she needs to remove some paneling.
Won't be a problem. And I get on the radio to Pax. Hey, Pax.
Hey.
Pax, you've been looking this, like crossing things off on the list so far.
Yeah.
You're gonna want to check here, and I give her the coordinates within the station. Might just look like wall. Take a panel or two off.
Okay. Okay. I'll tell you what I find.
Sounds good.
Okay. I go do that.
Okay. So you make your way over to that area. You do find just what looks like wall there. But given the instruction, you pull out a knife, get your knife under there, prop it a little bit, get some tools out, undo some bolts and screws, and sure enough, you're able to remove that paneling, and within that paneling space, there is a door.
I open the door.
It leads into a small, dusty, dark, unlit closet. No more than 6 or so feet deep, no more than 4 or so feet wide. The shelving of which is dusty, unkempt, but not undisturbed. There is a thick layer of dust here, but you can clearly see that someone has been here before you. And you look around and you see a corner floor panel that has been broken and moved to the side to reveal a compartment below. And as you shine your light down that compartment, you notice it is empty. And Pax, go ahead and roll a observe test for me.
Okay.
I'll do it at a -3.
Oh no, I'm already at a minus. God damn it. Okay, observe at a -3.
While this is going on, Roland, you send that to Pax. It takes her some time. And as like Salem kind of waves the thing away and looks at like the payments and everything from Acosta, he goes, "Did she threaten you?"
Acosta?
Yes.
She all but pulled a gun on me and pointed me towards an aircraft to take me back to the Gatees.
Knowing her, for you to betray her, she would try to set the Acostas on you. Or, more accurately, she would threaten to set the Acostas on your friends, which, as I understand it, are the reason you're doing what you're doing.
Well, on the one hand, I worry for the Acostas were they to go after my friends. But on the other, I suspect an agreement can be reached.
Let me speak to Severina. I have a feeling her time here in Tobias Station is done. And she's no longer your concern.
By all means.
You'll still want to talk to Foster. I understand he has some requirements for new leadership before he throws his lot in with you. You see, the problem you run into is Masterson is much easier to control than you.
Do you know why I like you quite a bit, Salem?
He raises an eyebrow.
Because I don't think you're a very good liar. And it's not a judgment, and it's not a dig at you. It's because without being a very good liar, you have risen to a position of tremendous power. Playing a game that I imagine rewards deception quite a bit.
Yeah.
I think the families believe what they want is a station master they can control. But what the families really want is a station master that is a constant. Stability is profitable. And when you play games over who owns who, there can't be stability. I can offer you and Foster and whoever comes to take Severina's place exactly what I've said all the time for quite some time.
I feel like you and Ephraim would get along.
Sounds like quite a man.
He told me I wasn't cut out for this life. I had too honest a face. That's what led me to realize. Play your cards right, you never have to lie.
This is why I like you. I should be off to speak with Foster, unless there's more you'd like to discuss.
No, I... eager to have words with Severine.
I look forward to hearing of the outcome.
I'll touch base with you, hopefully sometime before the election, but if not, good luck.
Thank you. And I get up and I leave, and I would like to I do opposition research on Masterson using Morales' data cat.
Yeah. So Masterson, it's like Bahara said. Masterson does not have like any family ties. He was basically on Morales' payroll.
Mm-hmm.
He served for a short amount of time on the board of logistics. He was appointed a seat in the board of logistics under Eddie Copeland. But you also know that he didn't do very well in that post. And basically Morales kind of puts him at the kind of person who reaches beyond his grasp, but the moment his wrist is slapped will fall in line. So at the very least, you are confident that if you beat this dude in an election, he's not going to be a problem down the road.
Well, that's great. I love to hear that.
Yeah. The moment you win, he's going to be like, okay, what do you want me to do?
Okay. Yeah, that's plenty.
Yeah. So around this time, Pax, you have explored this closet.
I feel so talented. Cool. So you had me roll observe.
Yep.
I spent 2 grit.
Oh.
And got no hits.
No. Okay. Closet's empty.
Can I look again?
Nope. It's empty. You look very thoroughly. There's no other secret compartments. It looks like someone has been here and found a secret stash of something and left with it.
Okay. So Roland?
Yeah, what's up?
I found it. There was something here. There's not anything here now.
Well, that's bad.
Maybe. Yeah.
Any sign of who took it or where they went?
Hey, Kinsey, you have one of the guards' radios too, right? So
Oh, right. I guess I'm part of this conversation.
yeah, so you're like you've left you've left the professor, you're moving your way through the lower levels, and then your radio kicks on with this conversation.
It looks like someone's been here relatively recently, but then also, like, it's just the one person, because would be my guess, because like, everything is covered in dust except for, like, where this board is torn up. And whoever did it put the paneling back on carefully and everything. So,
Tell you what, I've just finished up with the professor. Why don't I drop by?
oh, yeah, sure. I'll just wait here. It's blah, blah, blah.
Oh, blah, blah, blah. I'll be right there.
She
Great.
gives you directions. You're able to find the way.
If you want, might be worthwhile looping Harry in. If anyone knows the ins and outs of the walls.
She doesn't have a radio anymore.
No, sorry, let me clarify. Might be worth stopping and picking her up.
Sure. Okay. I don't know where she is.
Yeah, you don't. But Leonard does,
Yeah.
because you had her collect Leonard.
Okay, well, I guess okay, so I'll go see if Leonard's back at the bar, and see if he knows where she
All right.
is.
Tell Hamish to be careful around the tree.
I sigh into the radio on purpose. And then I guess I will go back to the bar.
Okay, so you're not waiting for Kinsey?
Kinsey, do you want me to wait for you?
No, I know where it is. You're fine.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
So Pax, you make your way back towards Umbra's. Kinsey, you make your way towards the hidden closet. And Roland, you reach Gray Foster. You're able to ascend to his suite. They offer you a drink. You get a lemonade, I think.
Yeah, they have good lemonade here.
And you enter, and he is sitting there in front of a roaring fire. And he turns to you and he goes, "Cheers!"
Mr. Foster.
Takes a drink, sits down, and he goes, "Let's talk business."
Of course. What did you have in mind?
Well, I figured you are a busy man now, so I went ahead and wrote my requirements for my support. Here. He slides over a piece of paper.
I take his dramatic list.
You open it up, and for lack of like, there's no sense in giving it true detail. What it is literally just price points for all of his station related expenses,
Mhm.
and he wants them to be cheaper. That's
Okay.
it. He wants the Sheffields to save a lot more money and to buy a station than they have been. Judging from Morales's ledger that you've looked at, like the Sheffields did get quite shafted as far as like how much money they can make here. So their apparent priority is literally just making as much money as some of the other family, like as the Canooms and the Acostas.
Yeah, I am. All right, give me a minute. I pull up my I pull up my Omni tool, which I assume has a copy of Morales's ledger now, so I don't have to like pull out her data pad and put it in
that's
front
fine.
of him.
Yeah, they're
I
linked.
pull that out and I take a look at his paper. Let me just, if you don't mind waiting.
I
let me
have
crunch
all
some
the time in
numbers.
the world, my friend. You are the one who only has 3 days.
And I do the math.
Motherfucker, roll lore for me. You know what? It's a little hard. -2.
Now, does my Omni tool help?
No.
Calculator. Obviously it does.
No, the thing doesn't have a calculator. Bullshit.
It has
I
a
call
calculator, but it's not helping his ability to move funds around.
bullshit.
You know what? No, I will not be undone here at Gray Foster's apartment by challenging algebra. I spend 3 grit to grow it strong so that this 13 now explodes.
Ooh.
Cool. I have 5 hits.
Yeah, it just takes you like a second. You you pull it up, you look at like the general, like you like really quickly run a quick like algorithm on like how much money the station makes like yearly.
Yeah, and then I just like I isolate everything that Morales was shoveling to the Valentines,
And
I
it's
go, no.
it's like it's a decent amount of what she was shoveling to the Valentines, but it is not all of what she was shoveling to the Valentines. And if you just take that much out and put it towards the Sheffields, you're like, okay.
Now, can I do that and still, like, based on my assessment of the station, put a lot more of the money that was leaving Tobias Station or for Morales' personal projects back into Tobias Station?
Not as much as you would want. At that point, you have to like, so a little bit of that for sure. And like enough to like make it so the airflow is good down there. Right. But there's like faulty wiring. There's like no security. Like the personnel needs to be expanded. Like there's a lot of other logistics that lead to the lower levels becoming like good. But like the very bare minimum of what needs to be accomplished in the lower levels to make it like livable, you can still achieve like without having to move the budget around a whole lot.
Okay. All right. Gray, Mr. Foster.
Yes.
This is doable. But I have a slight counteroffer for you.
Well, I'm quite set in my mind, but you are quite charming, so have a go at it.
Now, these are the numbers I believe you would like. This can be done.
Good. Well, then I don't think we have anything more to discuss.
But if I could give you these numbers, and I show him like 15% less than what he asked for.
Sure.
If I give you these numbers for the first year, give me some time to undo the tremendous damage Morales's tomfoolery has done to Tobias Station. Get it back up and running. Make it good for all the people who live here so that people want to spend their money here and that it has a significant amount more legitimacy for your operations. I believe at the end of that year I can offer you this, and I show him like 15% over what he wants.
Okay. Roll manipulate. I will give you a +2. You were up against an 11.
I have a 12 and 11.
You got 2 successes?
Yeah, 2 no-hits.
Okay. He sits there. He thinks about it for a second, and he goes, well, I am inclined to accept your proposal. Problem is, a man like you is inclined to drift. How do I know? Whoever you put in place after you will honor this deal.
Because if they don't, you'll kill them.
That's not good enough, my good boy.
Well, if it makes any difference, I'll tell you what I told Salem. I think the most profitable thing for this station is stability. And I can't exactly offer you stability if I hang out for a year and drift off at the first sign of trouble or the first opportunity. I'm not going anywhere for quite some time. And you know this to be true, because if I leave, my friends, who I have worked extremely hard to get out of here and safe and on their way and living their lives, will certainly come back and deal with whoever has taken my place in an untimely fashion. And I don't want that to happen.
Can I get a promise from you that the moment you are willing to walk away from all of this, the moment you even consider it, you'll come to me so that you and I can orient your successor to the needs of this station?
Mr. Foster, I promise you, whoever comes after me will receive all of the orientation they need to make sure that everything I build here lasts long after me.
Yes, I would like to meet them before anyone else. Can you promise me that?
I could, but I don't think that would entirely be in my hands. I can promise you'll be there the first time that presumably Salem and myself and you sit down and talk with them.
He beams at that, and I won't make you roll to understand that what you basically just told him is like the equivalency of telling him that the Sheffields just moved from number 3 to number 2. And he goes,
I've tried very hard to communicate that without saying it.
and he beams and he goes, well, then I suppose we have a deal. And he reaches out a hand. Shakes. And he goes, would you like a drink? Another one, a stronger one.
Yeah, something stronger. The lemonade downstairs is quite good, but if business is done, pour me some gin. I hear you've got quite good gin.
He does make you a very fine drink. Pax, on your way back to Umbra's, you do bump into Leonard. He is like at a stall getting some supplies, and he turns to you and he goes, Pax.
Hey.
Hey.
At
At this point, it's like a little past midday.
Okay. Do you know, do you know where Harry is?
Yeah, I do. She wasn't too pleased with me making a break for it, but we heard some people talking about what was going on with you, and well, I wasn't just gonna sit still, but yeah, I know where she's laying low.
Okay. Well, maybe. Yeah, we found the shelf we were looking for, but there's nothing on it. And
Oh.
we had an idea that maybe she could look at it. I don't know. Kinsey's going to go check out the shelf. I probably missed some stuff, but the item we're looking for isn't there.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
But we can wait to hear from Kinsey. That's
Okay. Like shoulders some of the stuff. He goes, all right. I mean, I guess let's go meet up with him then.
Oh, are you done with all your stuff?
I mean, I ain't done fixing the place up, but this will go a long way, he says, like pointing at the sack on his back.
Okay. Yeah, sure. It's this way.
Kinsey, you get there before they join you. You're looking around. Go ahead and roll an observe test for me.
Sure.
I'll give you a +1.
Oh, come on.
I'm not.
Mostly because like the fact that you've come here after PAX like lets you know you're not looking in obvious places.
Sure, absolutely.
Man. Is that a -3?
It's because the thing you were looking for was hidden.
Yeah, well, I'm still looking for the hidden thing. Grumble.
Consider your test with no successes an assist.
I'll take it.
That is 3 hits.
Cool. So Kinsey, you go in there, you're able to see it's definitely one person that came in here. One person that came in, looked around a little bit, and then seemed to find, like, it's almost like you can recreate like the footsteps stepping on that panel and hearing it hollow, and then tapping a couple times, and then it gets shattered. And you look around, you see that like they didn't touch the walls very much, but you're able to kind of confirm that there was nothing there. You look around a little bit, and then one thing you do notice is in the door frame. And you see like a blinking light for like a second. Like it's not like you have to like you're like moving your hand along the door frame, and then like a reflection on your nail lets you know that some device within there has a blinking light. And so you look in, you get out like your survival kit and pull out like a hook, and you like kind of get in there, and you're able to scooch out a small device that has a blinking light. And you realize, as a skilled trapper yourself, this is it's a trap that is like an alarm, and it's tethered to another device that is receiving this alarm. Like basically through like a short range. It doesn't have a very long range, but like a short range radio connection. This device has let some other device know that this door has been opened.
Okay, it's good to know. Is there a way to figure out where the other device is? Do I have the tools to do that?
It would be a technology roll to try and figure that out.
Okay. I'll try that.
Cool. You are at a -3.
That's rolling for 1, so we'll see what happens.
It explodes in your hand.
Don't misfire.
Say it out loud.
As you sit down and start like messing with this device, Pax and Leonard join you. Pax, you see Kinsey sitting against the wall, messing with a small blinking device.
Yeah, no hits on that one, but it's not a misfire.
You found something?
I mean, somebody definitely knows we've been here, but I can't seem to figure out where the other device is.
Sure. Okay. Hey, Roland.
What's up?
Somebody left a tracking device or
Like a proximity alarm.
proximity alarm on the door to the closet. So someone knows that we're here.
Yes.
Someone knows that we're here. We
All right,
were
well,
here. We are
I'm just
here.
leaving Foster's now. I can come join you. Take a look.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. So you all reconvene together, the whole team in one place, as Roland approaches shortly after, and is you see Kinsey, Pax, and Leonard looking at this small electronic device. Roland,
May I? I pop out my Omni tool and
you go ahead and roll technology at a -3.
I thought you were going to do the same thing, just keep passing that
That perpetual bonus.
Does Gadgeteer apply to this?
Yes.
Okay. I have 4 hits.
Okay. With 4 hits, you tweak this thing a little bit, and then you're like, okay, I've kind of like tapped into its wave that it is sending. It's definitely tied to only one device. And you link it to your Omni tool to give it like a little bit more processing power. And your Omni tool like kind of automatically brings up a map of Tobias Station. And you see like the bubble around Tobias Station like close in to show you the range of this thing. And then a dotted line move. And the spot that it lands on is Umbra's.
Okay.
Did the tree eat it? I say as I start walking towards Umbra's, did our carnivorous tree? Has it had legs the whole time? Did you bring a killer and a thief into our home?
Well, you know that it is not tracking whatever was here. It is tracking some other device that was programmed to be alarmed when someone came here.
Okay, yeah, it was probably on Ephraim's body, which we found near Umbra's, right?
Maybe.
I don't know. We're going to the thing.
Yeah, we're gonna go to Umbra's.
Okay. So all of you arrive at Umbra's together, holding like this. Roland is holding up this like holographic image of Tobias Station as you walk up. He turns it off, puts it in his pocket. The door opens. The bar is empty, save for one patron, sitting in his standard seat that he loves so much. You haven't seen him for some time. But there's Eli, sitting at the bar with his usual drink, and set on the bar is the twin to the device that you found, blinking. And as you step in, he speaks. Y'all managed to find that stash faster than I expected. But, you 4 always do find a way to exceed expectations. I mean...
You motherfucker!
Imagine...
Oh my God, Rufus Nash!
Imagine my surprise. Traveling all the way to Tobias Station just to hear you're here. Setting up roots. Boggles the mind, don't it? And his eyes, he looks directly at you, Pax, and his pupils, and then irises, and then the rest of his eyes, kind of like in a wave, flash the same teal color you saw when you stabbed Rufus Nash in the throat.
Fuck.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna just like stand, I guess, in front of everybody.
As you kind of step out to protect everybody, he holds up a hand and he goes, "Now let's not lose our cool. I ain't fool enough to come here without insurance." And you see he's holding a device that has a wire that runs to his chest, and you see sticks of explosives wrapped around his chest. He goes, "So, let's have a little chat. And I hope y'all are more interested in seeing reason than meeting Alana on the other side. Go ahead, take a seat, and if even a hand twitches towards a weapon, I'll blow y'all to bits and come back in another body to sift through the wreckage, you understand? Come on, join me at the bar."
I'd go behind the bar. The fuck do you drink?
I tell him what Eli drink.
Ain't wrong, this Eli fella, he's got good taste, or maybe it's just 'cause I'm here. Either way, I'll take it.
Great. I grab our shittiest gin, the one that Grey Foster said was terrible.
Nah,
You may have noticed we're under repairs.
It's looked better. I'll be honest. Now, I've been keeping my eye on you lot. My oh my, you just don't change, do you? Still cheating, lying, and scheming your way to the top. You even got poor Leonard swallowing your squonk piss, he says, gesturing to Yen. And he goes, "Bye. Who am I to judge? Especially when y'all been so damn helpful to me. I mean, honestly. I'm glad I didn't kill you back in Alanastead. I mean, y'all led me to one of Quentin's guns already when you found old Ephraim's body in the vent. And I even had enough time to send it away for safekeeping. Meanwhile, Leonard here has just been toting that one around, waiting for me to snatch it up. 200 years I've been waiting for this moment. Hand it over, Yen." And he extends a hand to Leonard.
No.
And Leonard goes, 200 years. 200 years. You found the way to live forever. And the only thing you care about is digging up some dead gunslinger's grave? It ain't a grave, you feckless child. It's a reliquary. And you can't even imagine what's waiting there for me.
I don't know. I can imagine a lot.
Yeah? You do have quite the active mind there, Roland. Honestly.
So are you friends with Leo? Or do you two...
Whoa,
Is this a
Riggs?
competition?
No.
Or
Riggs is digging in the dirt looking for treasure. He don't know what he's after. He's just heard the stories. He don't know what I know.
what is it you know?
More than
You're
you...
sitting here with a bomb tied to your heart.
It's
You
not
don't
his
come-
heart.
You don't come here without the intent to kill us, right?
Honestly, y'all hand over the gun. I'm happy to walk away from this situation and leave poor old Eli just outside of Tobias Station with a hell of a hangover and I wonder what he's been up to the past 5 months. Honestly, he's been in worse states. Fix this place up, it's probably going to appeal to his tastes anyways. I don't need to kill you. I've learned that you are a force to be reckoned with. I just want the gun, and I'll be on my way. Come on, Leonard. Hand it over. Leonard sits there for a second, and he goes, It ain't on me. It's in the back in their war room. Stash it there when Roland took me back there. Still don't know what that was for, but I guess now ain't the time. And Eli Rufus Nash sits there for a second. And he goes, "All right. Well, then take me to it, Yen. But before you do, cuff up these do-gooders. Hollis and McCharlotte. Pax will be my insurance." He pulls out a gun and points it at Pax. And Yen looks to Kinsey and Roland as his hand moves down towards his like handcuffs. He pulls them out and goes for Roland first.
Yeah, sure. No, my hands weren't doing anything that was going to affect the situation.
So he handcuffs you to the bar.
Great. Really, though? What do you know? Came all this way. You don't care to kill us. I'm gonna find out. The problem is you've become interesting. I was content to forget about you.
Well, go ahead and try to hold on to that intuition there, Roland. It's kept you alive so long. You come looking for me after this, you ain't
will
gonna
never
get
see
another
me coming.
chance. Peacock like you can't help but play your cards before you talk.
Oh, Rufus. He said reliquary. Does that trigger anything from my Quentin Lemaire geekery?
Yeah, so you got 6 successes. I'm not making you roll again. Yeah, so you start tying some threads together here. And you know the name escapes you explicitly about there was a cult basically that was
His son joined and like
yeah.
rose to power in, right?
Yeah, and they were like basically the opposition of the gunslingers at the time. And he said he's been waiting for 200 years. And you remember that, like, I think it's 203 years ago, maybe 204 years ago. Owen Lemaire, the son of Quentin Lemaire, died on the same day as his father in an attempt. He successfully killed his father, but then was killed by Cordelia Gray, Quentin Lemaire's apprentice. And you also read whispers, which now start to like kind of come a little bit more into prominence. Like talks about how Owen Lemaire seemed to leave instructions for his followers to find things that like they would discover along the way, and that they were completely committed to giving themselves to his vision. And all of that, plus the fact that Rufus Nash is here right now, an Everlight in your bar, seeming to know about the fact that it was a reliquary, and seeming to be comfortable enough to not say like Lemaire's guns or Claymore and Flamberg. He just says Quentin's.
Mm-hmm.
You think that Rufus Nash might be Owen Lemaire, and that those rumors you heard about him being like leaving things that
He didn't leave
influence
instructions, he left himself.
Yes. Kinsey, you get handcuffed to the bar as well. Come on, Pax. Up you go. Leonard, go ahead and lead us to this war room I've heard so much about.
It won't make Daddy love you.
You are clever. But you're also dumb. Go on, Pax. And he like prods you with the gun. And Leonard steps in front of you, gives you like a nod, and keeps moving in. And as the two of you step into the kitchen and move your way to the area with the kegs that lead down into the war room, he opens up the hatch and says, "We all going down or what? What's it going to be, Nash?" He goes, "Looks like there's enough room. Let's keep moving." And Leonard takes one step and then closes his mechanical fist. And without looking at you, Pax, he flexes. And the gun shoots out of his arm up in the air in front of you.
Oh my god. I grab it. Can I grab it and point it at Rufus?
Okay.
Can I get his hand too? Can I do both?
So you grab the gun and spin around. And in that moment, like right after he launches the gun out of his arm, before you even have a chance to grab it, he ducks and starts moving towards the hand that is holding the dead man's trigger. And Leonard manages to grab the hand that has the dead man's trigger, and you grab the gun, spin it around, cock back the hammer, pointing it right at Rufus Nash's face. And he gasps, and you see pure terror on his face. His eyes flash teal. And then there's a man sitting there with Leonard like wrestling his arm down. He goes, "What? Hey, oh, hey, what's going on? Who the hell are you?"
You're Eli, right?
What do you want me to be?
Is your name Eli?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my god!
Don't
He like
panic.
looks at the bombs on his chest. It's like, oh god! And like at this point, like Leonard is able to get the dead man's trigger like out of his hand and in his hand. He's like, oh god, oh god.
We're gonna get it all off of you. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You're okay.
Help me! Help me!
You're gonna be okay.
Kinsey and Roland, you're not able to hear much except for, "Oh God, please help me," from the other room.
I think that's probably good.
I will. Yeah. I guess. Are you okay? Are you okay, Leonard?
Yeah, let's get this thing off him.
Let's not touch it. Just
Roland,
in case.
he says, like dragging Eli out.
I'm
Yeah.
coming as fast as I can.
I will open up the handcuffs for both of them.
Yeah, he tosses you the keys. You're able to unlock. Roland, you see Eli terrified, absolutely terrified. As I'm not going to make you roll for it, you're able to remove the explosives from him and disable the dead man switch without risking explosion. One thing does occur to you, Roland.
Why would he run? Why would he run if he wasn't in danger?
Yes. You know enough about Everlights from your previous... You looked into Everlights when you first found out Rufus Nash was an Everlight. You also got glints of it when you're looking around, like with your 6 hits from before. Everlights don't need to vacate a body before that body is killed. That's why Rufus Nash was willing, or Owen Lemaire was willing to kill Eli and you at the same time, because he would just bounce
He could
back.
just come back.
He'd bounce back to whatever object he put his mind in, possess someone else, and come here. But that gun pointed at him, and he ran away. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Fucking Rufus Nash.
The fuck out of my bar, Rufus Nash.
You level 7 piece of shit.
In this town?
Oh my
But 2 heads of the
God.
family today. I'm arranged for presumably the murder of a 3rd.
All right, so I went a little late, but I really wanted to get to that moment. So, we have a few questions through the Twitch stream. If those of you in the chat have questions, I think there might be a question from Carnaxis in the Twitch stream.
It's a little bit of a question.
Yeah, it feels like a little bit of a question. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and answer the question that just popped up in the stream. Another thing that Roland knows is that a hard caliber pistol cannot just kill an Everlight. That's not normal.
No. A hard caliber pistol can't just kill an Everlight, but like Claymore might be able to.
All right, moving on.
That's where the piercing comes from.
There's an extra layer of piercing. It pierces the soul. So in the Discord we had a few questions. So from Argitlam, giving us another character to build. The first one is Santa. Who can build Santa and manifest?
Okay, so Santa Claus absolutely has the vigilance tree because he's got to get so far so fast in a single night.
Be good at driving.
He's got preferred vehicle
sleigh.
sleigh.
I think he probably has subtlety because he's in and out before you even know he's there.
So I was thinking I actually have a different solution to this. What if it is Master of the Elements? And if he's seen, he can go back in time.
I think it's actually all three, right? He's got subtlety because he's got to sneak around. He's got Master of the Elements and Spirit Animal because he's got so many reindeer. And he's got vigilance because he needs him to fly the sleigh real good.
Yeah. The only other thing is that he's also like a toy maker, right? So he's got it.
Well, he's got help for that.
Yeah, the elves have know-how and like moxie to be able to know who's naughty or nice and also build all the toys.
The list knows who's naughty or nice. Right? Or Santa? Does Santa know who's
I mean, Santa checks the list, but it's sort of implied that the list exists outside of Santa.
Oh, so the list is an Everlight with moxie who can and like extremely powerful clairvoyance powers.
Yes. The list can see you forever. The list is watching. We love the list. The list is good.
All right. A springboard off of that comes from Emma J. Hendren, asking for us to make Robot Santa from Futurama.
Okay, so Robot Santa has sure hands because he's a big heavy weapon specialist and a lot of prosthetics and probably hardiness. And he's very charismatic, so like probably also moxie.
I mean,
Nice,
he's played by John Goodman, so like.
Oh, sure, yeah.
I like John Goodman.
Yeah,
he's very good.
There you go. That's moxie right there. You like him?
Good first impression.
Yeah, he's a robot who flies around in a sleigh on Christmas because I think the programming of his list is broken and it's too incredibly strict, and so everyone is naughty and everything that is naughty must be killed.
Yeah, sounds right.
Of course, that's the character in Futurama.
Yeah, extremely cybernetic.
Every Christmas in the year 3000, the people hunker down and hope they are not destroyed.
I love it.
Like this year.
All right.
Exactly.
Another character to build from Argitlam is Clive Winslet from Wild Arms 3.
I looked into this a teeny bit. The wiki wasn't super duper helpful on like kind of a ton of details about him, but he seemed like a very good planner and a very good sniper and like pretty charismatic, and like that's easy to do in Manifest. Flashbacks are a mechanic.
Yeah.
Being a good sniper is like super easy. You can make the craziest sniper without a whole lot of trouble.
Yeah, I mean, if you're doing like sniper shots on people who are unaware you're there, there's 3 talents in the subtlety tree that just make it so that you're pretty much guaranteed to kill anybody you shoot who's unaware you're there.
Yeah.
All right. And then the last question in the Discord from Argitlam comes with a bit of a preamble, which is some fun information for everybody. Today, Argitlam learned that llamas are often integrated into flocks of similar animals like sheep or cows for use as guard animals due to their habit of kicking wolves and other predators to death, as well as not needing specialized feed or vaccinations. Is there any equivalent creature on Manifest that could be added to a herd to better protect it from the kind of predators they're likely to see? Another rephrasing of the question is there an animal that is both cuddly enough and simultaneously terrifying enough to ward off a snallygaster?
I mean, I don't think it's terrifying, but I think if you manage to get like 5 hodags around your flock of sheep, that is an impenetrable wall to any predator.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, hodags in a amongst the gumbaroos is pretty good as far as like if you get that hodag in the water, it'll just block up the channel and nothing can get to the gumbaroo.
I like the idea of hodags as buffers for other livestock.
But as far as like the sort of so any spirit animal that like, you know, like Umbro would be great for that because it's got like a, you know, focus. What is it? A 3-penny
the
a
copperbirds.
bunch of copperbirds.
The copperbirds, yeah, a flock of copperbirds would be great if they were trained because they're highly intelligent and also extremely deadly.
Yeah, I think the thing is there's no like sort of like naturally occurring like you just put this animal with these other animals, this one will watch out for the others.
Yeah.
But a lot of the animals on Manifest are sort of like eminently trainable. And
Yeah.
like if you
And there
train a
aren't-
Worrican to not eat what it's guarding, it will guard it extremely well.
This is true.
Yeah.
God, that's terrifying. The like wrangler who has a herd of hodag, but also has like some Worrican it's trained to like guard the hodag. Nothing is coming at that because even if you make it past the friggin'
Like you're not carrying the hodag away with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or, you know, what would be fun? I don't know how you would do this, but you live on like a mesa, right? Like a table, like concrete or whatever. And then like all around it is like Agarino territory. And so like your herds are safe, but nobody can get to you.
I thought you were gonna say like you just lure a bunch of wassets around your boat.
Oh, that would work too. I don't know how you would lure a wasset anywhere, but they're basically giant ground starfish. But like if you could do that, that would be also great. Just find a wasset breeding ground and like put
just
everything
like
on
lay
stilts.
food in a line and wait 8 months for them to like
Wonderful.
All right, and then we have a sort of question from Carnaxis in the stream chat. It's hard because it's not phrased like a question, but it says, expanding on my question from last week about traps, being able to charge an object with luminescence could mean charging a crossbow bolt before shooting it or turning a rock into a light grenade or ... Okay, fine. I just want to make Gambit and Manifest. Which I guess, yeah. Now that I read it through all the way instead of just skimming it, it's not really a question, but it does beg the question of like, if at some point there was some kind of luminescent power that would allow you to be Gambit and Manifest, it'd be really cool, wouldn't it? All right. I don't have any other questions in the Discord. I don't see any other questions in the stream chat. We've gone plenty late tonight, so I'm going to go ahead and call it here. Thank you all so much. We are on next week, December 29th, Tuesday, December 29th. That will be the last episode of this campaign. Last episode.
I knew Rufus Nash was coming back. I knew it.
He
I
had
can't believe he was Eli.
Of course he was Eli. Who else was he going to be?
Like, he was Eli the whole time.
I
I
thought he wasn't
know.
going to come back until the campaign 2. Like
The
I thought that was just
whole
gonna be...
time.
How? Okay, Roland has failed us. How did you not suss that out? I'm just
No
saying.
one asked. There was even a point where Kinsey was like, hey, hey, Eli, tell me a little bit about yourself. And then Eli started to tell a little bit about himself. And then Roland poked his head from behind and was like, hey, Kinsey, I need you over here. And pulled Kinsey away. And I was like, ha ha! I don't have to make anyone roll to realize he's lying. Great stuff. All right, cool. Thank you all so much for watching. We love you so much. If you haven't already, hit that follow button. And if you can, hit that subscribe button. We are super looking forward to the finale of this season of Manifest, episode 50 on December 29th. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much. Bye. Bye now. Bye-bye.